There we go, people. Listen, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the building. I got people in the chat going off. They're like, they're going to dock me £5 every minute. I'm late. Jesus Christ. But the reason, listen, we had to move the time just to make sure we had the whole panel as well, because it's not really all you can eat Chelsea without the whole panel. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, let's move the time back. Let's get everybody here together, because the last time we did the show, we was reacting to the Champions League win. And the dust is starting to settle now. Everybody's starting to actually accept that it actually happened. And now we're moving on to the summer and the transfer shenanigans and all of that good stuff as well. And I'm seeing Lukaku's off and it's on and it's off. And I'm not going to get into that today, because today I want to finalize on really appreciating this team one last time before I move on to transfer stuff probably this weekend. We got to do a season's review. We got to do a player's rating. That hasn't been done here. Before we get into all of that, Miz, bro, how are you doing? Welcome back.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me back again. And all you can eat Chelsea, different time slot, man. I'm looking forward to this. This feels weird, 7:11 a.m. I've got work starting very soon after this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this review. I think we're going to get some interesting conversations going on.
I've got the garlic bread in the oven now for dinner time. Not full dinner, but I thought I need a snack for the show. So I'm going to have to get that in a minute. Younes, how are you doing, bro?
Yeah, bro, I'm good. I mean, good morning, Miz. I never ever say that. So, yeah, it's a different time slot. But of course, for all of us to be on, much appreciated. But I'm good. The last time we did this, I was with you personally, and we were celebrating and enjoying a historic night and all sorts. And now, as you said, the dust is starting to settle. So time to start looking at things rationally again. But we're still pumped up, and we're still feeling on top of the world. So that's not going to change.
Absolutely.
We got our first super chat. Big up, Burry, saying big up 14K, man. By the way, it's 3 a.m. in India. I'm so sorry to every viewer in India. We've really shagged you this week.
We have, yeah. Anyone on that side of the world, sorry.
Do you know what it is as well? As soon as I set it up, they immediately thought it was a mistake. And they were like, yo, Matisse, what's going on here? And then Kant's in the chat is handing out fines like Frank Lampard. Jesus Christ. And then they were like, yo, there's no way Matisse is saying this at 10 p.m. Yeah, because everybody that was from India was just in the chat going, yo, that's too late. It's going to be 3 a.m. What are you doing to me? And I had to clarify. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. This is really going down. But it's just this week. And then it's back to normal. But let's begin because, listen, we've had the highest of the highs.
It's proper commitment, man.
The commitment is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you who's happy this week, though. The Americans. Mate, they're probably watching this going, yeah, I've just had lunch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, boys. Yes.
The Americans are always getting shagged, usually. So now it's in the Asian continent. So listen, we're mixing it up. Do you know what I mean? It's a global fan base. You got to appease to everybody. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And big up to everybody for supporting 14K. Really happy about that. I mean, it's another milestone. We keep kicking it, but we have to begin, right? The season, because we had the highest of the high, right? At the end of it, it doesn't really get any better than that. But it doesn't mean that we were the best team in Europe all season. We had our highs and lows. So, I mean, I'm starting really from that Brighton game on the first game of the season, right? Reece James with an absolute thunder bastard into the top corner.
I think we were behind, weren't we?
We were
behind, Matisse.
And Kurt Zuma as well.
We were. I think we were.
Yeah, we went behind. No, we were winning. But then we conceded the equalizer and Reece James scored 2 minutes afterwards. So, I mean, do you guys remember what you were feeling at the start of the season? Because we had made all of our new signings as well. How confident was you and where did you think we would finish?
I thought we'd win the league.
Younes doesn't even want to answer. He's embarrassed.
Mate, I thought we'd won the league. I mean, look, I remember making my predictions, yeah. And I was like, you know what? We're all going to get this wrong. So because we're going to get it wrong and because we've made all these signings and we've gone and played FIFA career mode, we might as well just say Chelsea are going to win the title. So I said, Chelsea are going to win the title. Yeah, or we're going to compete. We're going to be up there. We made top 4. Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Chilwell, Mendy. Oh yeah, we're definitely competing for the title. That didn't happen. I could not have got that more wrong. But yeah, that was my honest feeling.
Where did you predict us to finish to win the title? Under Lampard, second season.
For banter's sake, I said we'd win the title, but I genuinely thought top 2.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Miz? What did you predict? Because I know I predicted, I think second. I think.
Yeah, I was very gassed. I'm sure you guys were all gassed as well with the caliber of players that came in. So I was so pumped, and I started really believing in myself that Frank Lampard winning the Premier League was just going to be inevitable. I really started believing that it's simply going to be inevitable because the caliber of players that came in, and plus, let's be honest, he did a very good job last season with a transfer ban with the young kids to be able to come fourth with that particular team. I still predicted top 4 anyway with that team. This season, I didn't think we were going to win the league like as Younes probably did, but I definitely had a feeling that we're going to be challenging for it. We were going to close the gap because I completely bought in on that 3-year plan that was going on around in the early parts. Athletic was sharing that article like madness. The whole thing about Frank Lampard saying it's a 3-year plan. First year was a foundation, get everyone in, introduce the youth. Next season we close the gap, and then the third season we really try and get some silverware. So I started believing in that. So for me, it was more closing the gap with City and Liverpool to be within the 10-point range. So whether that would be second or third didn't really matter, but to close the gap, that was really my objective.
Yeah, I remember it now. When you look back on it, it was a 3-year plan under Lampard.
Matisse, you're on a delay, bruv. It's like you're broadcasting from Central Africa or something, and there's like this gap.
both Younes and I were like,
is it?
We'll just wait for 10
Me and
seconds
you are next to each other. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. The hell?
You guys want to hear something crazy?
Hell?
Matisse is a 10-minute drive away from me. He's a 10-minute drive away from me. There's other Donnies in Australia, and I'm getting closer connection to him. What's going on?
That's what I'm like. I'm speaking, and then I'm like, I'll give Matisse 10 seconds to fine now.
That's good. We'll survive.
It seems to be working now. I don't know what happened. If anything, I'll end up kicking myself out and then coming back in. But yeah, we had a 3-year plan under Lampard. And the second season was always about closing the gap. We'd signed Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Mendy, Ziyech, Havertz, and Werner, and then a few other youngsters, I think, as well.
Chilwell.
And it was all about, like Miss said, closing the gap. Yeah. All about a 3-year plan. It looks crazy. It sounds crazy when you look back on it, but that was literally legit the plan. The first season finished Champions League, second season closed the gap, third season win the title. Do you want me to tell you who started in that game that you probably won't remember? So we played like a 4-2-2, and do you want to know who started up front with Werner in that game that you might not remember? Or should I let you guess? Who do you guys think started in the front two?
Ruben Loftus-Cheek?
Yeah, that's right. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yeah.
I remember Ruben was playing first 3 games.
Wow.
Yeah. Ruben Loftus-Cheek started in that game. Crazy, isn't it? When you look back on it now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek nowhere near the team this season, but he started in that game. Yep. Crazy. So we won that game 3-1. So we started off well. We actually did start off quite well for really the opening part of the season because we lost to Liverpool, went down to 10 men there, but we played the cup games. But West Brom 3-3 was the Silva mistake, if everybody remembers that. And then we decided that Silva was haunted against West Brom.
His one and only mistake.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I think he made. Well, he got sent off in the home game against West Brom also.
Yeah, the second one as well.
That's nothing.
It's crazy how West Brom's the team that's taken the mick out of him. I wish he got the chance. I hope we get to play them in the FA Cup or in the League Cup. I really want to praise them.
West Brom scored 5 against the Champions League winners and got relegated.
Bro, but we should give half a star to them as well for their badge. Just have half a star there.
We conceded I think more goals against West Brom than we did in our whole Champions League run. Did we not?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
is that correct? Did we concede more goals to West Brom than the whole Champions League run?
5. And
I think that is twisted. That's almost as crazy as a stat as Jorginho is finishing top scorer.
Which we now have the stat for, by the way. We got the record now.
Wow.
In the Champions League, the team to have conceded the least amount of goals and go on to win the competition. So now we hold it in the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah, insane.
Man.
Crazy.
Insane.
That is actually nuts. When you actually think about it, it's crazy. Twisted, if anything. Kevin was saying, lol, Younes, we don't eat lunch at 5 o'clock. Oh, God. The difference in time zones here is ridiculous. Crazy time differences. So we draw to West Brom. We get knocked out to Tottenham in the cup. And guys, I don't know if you guys were as angry as me when we lost on penalties to Tottenham. I was fuming.
Yeah. Tottenham.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was? It's because we had just lost the FA Cup final a few months ago, and then we get dumped out of another cup. How was you feeling, Miz, with that?
Man, I was honestly, as you boys has laid the foundation, like I was very high moving into this last season. And with the caliber of players, as I said, I thought we were going to be competing in all competition. And Spurs was a very good match for us to have in the beginning, thinking that, it'll be a good sort of way to start this particular competition, knock them out. We've got all the caliber of players, and Spurs were kind of they were sort of warming up to the task. They weren't really into the task as yet under Mourinho. And I was livid, man. I was absolutely livid because we started the game good. Timo Werner scored, I remember. We started the game good, and then as the game progressed, we just kept on dying to the point they got the equalizer, and then we took it to the extra time. And once it went to extra time, I just thought that there's only one winner from here on in. It looks like it's Spurs. And I wasn't happy, at that point. I was like, well, we can't be having this sort of thing under Frank Lampard, and especially with the kind of players that we have. So, man, I was really, really fuming, man. I wasn't happy at all.
I mean, Younes, man, as well. Do you know what it was? It's Tottenham, man. And I don't know what it is. Yeah. Obviously, I never partake in the We Hate Tottenham song when they're not actually playing us, or when we're doing the liquidator, because I just believe that when the liquidator's on, we should be cheering on our own team, shouldn't be focused on another club. But I do hate Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? It's just that I want to pick and choose my moments when to exercise that emotion. But to lose to the penalties on them, I remember Werner scored a really good goal that game. Really good pullback, and Timo Werner scored a really good finish. And I said, okay, Timo Werner's here. Welcome to the party. We're going to have a good season. We're going to have loads of great finishing from him. Loads of great goals in the Premier League. I think I even put up a tweet saying, listen, the Golden Boot race starts now. Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't to be. But yeah, how was you feeling after that Tottenham game? Because it honestly, it doesn't get any, I think penalties against them, it don't really get much worse, does it?
No. As you said, it's Tottenham. Like, you know what I mean? They're all due respect, they're just not meant to win trophies. It's as simple as that. So when you get knocked out to Tottenham in the manner like we did, that's just it's a blow. It's a body blow. It's a low blow. You know what I mean? And when we've had their number in the Premier League and then we lose in that manner, you think why? There's no need. We've done them in the league, so. In a cup competition like that, we really should be getting the best out of them. But yeah, losing to Tottenham is just something you don't want to do. And I share your sentiment completely. I honestly, for anyone that does go to Stamford Bridge, please, when the liquidator plays, can we go back to the days of not actually singing We Hate Tottenham? Like, can we please do that again? Like, let's stop this whole We Hate Tottenham thing. And let's not even get them any attention. Just forget it. Just say Chelsea, and that's it. Like, I enjoyed the song when it was just that. You know, there's no need to include them anymore.
It's facts. Chelsea lad says, yo, man, can you have the show a bit earlier? It's 3 a.m. in India. Don't worry. Remember, the Americans are getting shagged every show. Don't forget that. To the people in India, don't forget your American friends that are Chelsea fans are getting shagged every week on this show. So I tried to put my weekly shows at different times. I got the one there, 1 p.m. with the one show, 11 a.m. one show, and 10 p.m. on another show for the Oil Boys. Try and balance it out. But remember, our brother Miz is in Australia, so just to get a time with Miz is not easy. We gotta make sure that we can even get to Miz. He's on the other side of the world. Do you know what I mean? So this is the perfect time for him. So it's the perfect time for us. So this is how it has to go. But yeah, usually it'll be at 11 a.m. But listen,
he's about to start work. You know, that's the perfect way to start a day. You know, you start with all you can eat Chelsea, and then you go over to work. I mean, fantastic.
What more can you ask for? Yeah, Younes. You can't ask for anything else.
See, look, your Canadian brother. Look, this time the Canadian brother just like, well, this time works for me. Do you know what I mean? So we got our brothers that we got to look over the Pacific. So they're eating Gucci today. Do you know what I mean? They usually have to get the playback. And then look, we played Palace. We beat them 4-0. We played Southampton 3-3. Very frustrating draw, getting conceding so many goals there. But then our first Champions League game came around and we drew against Sevilla, Krasnodar, Rennes. And this is where I really want to get onto this topic before I take out my delicious garlic bread. We drew 0-0 in the first home game to Sevilla, right? And let's be real. I know a lot of people want to give credit to Frank for getting us out the group. But I think I'd give more credit to him for getting us in the Champions League last season under a transfer ban and steering us into fourth than I would for getting us out the group. Because let's be real, if we didn't get out that group, it would have been a disgrace. We had Sevilla, we had Rennes, and we had Krasnodar. You are expected to get out of that group comfortably. So you know, I prefer to give him more credit for actually getting us back into the Champions League, which we've kind of been inconsistent in over the last 5 years, but we seem to be getting some stability. I mean, do you guys ever get worried when we don't win the first opening group game in the Champions League? Do you ever get worried, or is that just kind of something that you just brush off and move on from? I'll start with Miz.
I do, because you got to start off with a bang. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to start off with a draw or a loss, because that becomes very difficult down the track, moving into the other fixtures, and you don't want to make it difficult. But it's the manner. I'm pretty sure, Younes, you probably remember. It's the manner of that draw. Like, we did not play. It was as if Frank Lampard was so upset with that Southampton game. I remember he was livid. He came off the back of that Southampton game, and that was the very first time, boys, when Lampard post-match said, the lads did not listen to my instruction. I had an instruction, they did not listen to me. Yeah. And then he went on to the Sevilla game almost to say to the boys, you listen to what I have to say, and that is you defend. You do not attack, you defend. That's it. I want to see a clean sheet. And honestly, that did not sit well with me. I know we look back now, and we were probably saying back then, we need to build a foundation of defense. We need to know how to defend and then slowly go and attack. Yeah. You look at Thomas Tuchel. He's doing everything all at once. Do you know what I mean? It's not about, let us try and figure out the defending and then we'll figure out the attack. It doesn't work that way, my man. You gotta work out everything. So it was then when I did not think that the season was, gonna end up being all happy, because some of the things, that draw was not good, man. I don't know about you guys, but I did not like that draw one bit. And then we followed that with a Man United draw as well, where I know we can talk about all day long what Harry Maguire did to Azpilicueta and all of that. I don't really care. At the end of the day, we still need to produce enough quality to score goals. They had the better chances. If it wasn't for Mendy, I think we were dead, because Rashford had some amazing shots in that game. And Mendy absolutely saved us. So I wasn't very happy, but I could see the fan base online were very, very happy that, okay, we were defending now, we're doing better. But yeah, man, I wasn't entirely happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was when Werner was starting up front those days. We were playing like a 4-2-3-1. And Werner was starting up front, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I like him in this position, because he's one of these guys that relies on running in behind, but his link-up play, it wasn't all there. And I was thinking, but we wasn't playing with a formation where it suited him. So people wanted him up front, like the majority of the fan base when he was playing on left wing because they said he's a striker, he needs to go up front. But he wasn't the type of striker to play up front on his own in the way that we was trying to play with the ball and dominating teams. So whenever he was out wide left, it was even more frustrating because it just didn't suit the position. I mean, that rugby tackle from Maguire, Aspilicueta, I heard you speaking about there. I mean, that goes unnoticed as well. Thiago Silva and Zuma were starting to play together as well around this time in that back four as well. I mean, Younes, what was you thinking about the team at this time? Because Kai Havertz played in this game as well in the 10 position, Pulisic, Mount on the left. This is when Mount was playing out wide quite a bit at the start of the season as well. A lot of fans were starting to get frustrated that he was out on the wing. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That whole time was mad. It's funny when you look back at it and you're like, oh my God, yeah, we had all these emotions and like we had no idea what was going on and we were complaining and boom, you end up Champions League winners. I honestly, like at the beginning, at that time, I was skeptical to an extent, obviously with the same mindset that you just came out with, Miz, in terms of the draw at Sevilla, Man United, what went down. At that time, I genuinely thought, all right, we might get out the group. Might.
Seriously.
Not even a case of, we're going to win this group comfortably. Like, we might just make it out. Okay. Last 16, though, we might suffer the same fate as last season. Because,
do you know what?
Yeah. Oh, no. There was the whole thing of some players playing out of position. That was the main thing. We were waiting for these new signings to really come out their shell. We were waiting for, at the time, we were waiting for the Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz, Werner connection. That was meant to be a diamond, if you guys remember. Like Havertz behind the striker, Pulisic on the left, Ziyech on the right, Werner up front. Yeah, that was meant to be the plan. And then all of a sudden, that started getting dismantled. Players weren't really, adapting quick enough. We had Mason Mount then show up as the number one star boy, Lampard's son, and he got flung out to the left where he just couldn't do a job. And you're just thinking, what's going on? What's going on? So at this point, it was just pure confusion. But at the same time, pure hope that eventually it's going to get better because it's still early stages.
Yeah, I remember at this time here, like Miss was saying as well, we couldn't find a balance between defense and attack. So we conceded the goals against Southampton, against
we couldn't
West Brom.
defend for anything.
Yeah, and it was starting to get to that real finicky area of like, okay, we've got all these attacking players, but we can't defend. And then the Sevilla and Man United draw were like 2-0 back-to-backs, and it was like, everybody just calm down. We're just going to just build from the back, lay down the foundations. And that's exactly what we did, because we went on a really good run after this. There were favourable fixtures, but we went on a really good run. We beat Krasnodar 4-0. Which I believe Ziyech announced himself. He got a goal that game. Callum Hudson-Odoi scored as well. So did Timo Werner and Pulisic. So we got our attacking display with a clean sheet, bar it be Krasnodar. Burnley was 3-0. Rennes was 3-0. Sheffield United 4-1 win. Newcastle 2-0 win. Rennes 2-1 win. Tottenham 0-0. If you guys remember that game, he was on a really good run. And we should have won that game, but Tammy Abraham did miss a really good opportunity from a cross. And I remember thinking we need to get Giroud on earlier. We had stopped. We had limited Harry Kane and Son to no shots on target as well. But we didn't quite get the win. But we still came out of that game feeling good because we should have won. We dominated. We just didn't take our chances. And I think around this time of the table now, beating Sevilla 4-0, then a 3-1 win to Leeds. So I'll pause it there, right? At this point, I've just mentioned a lot of wins. We were top of the table. I remember filming with Saj and I'm saying, we're going to win the league. George Benson, I remember you too. We're going to win the league. I remember George. George had a nice video up and I was starting to get gassed. He was like, yo, we're going to win the league. I'm telling you a secret. We're going to win the league because we had found that balance between defense and attack. And it was looking like we'd actually solved our problem. Now, we'd gone through a favourable fixtures, but we said to ourselves, if we keep this balance with these new signings now starting to contribute, we're all sorted. And we were top. We were confident. I mean, Miz, how were you feeling at that time? Did you think we was going to win it?
I was on top of the world, man. I was 100% thinking we were winning the league. I was gassing it up every day. The tweets were all about Frank Lampard. Ziyech, if you look at that time frame, both Younes and Matisse, that time frame, what Matisse just talked about, Ziyech had, I think, 3 man of the match performances back to back in that time frame. I think there was a Newcastle performance, there was a Sheffield United performance, There was a Krasnodar, obviously, as well. So we kind of felt like, okay, we know exactly what Ziyech is going to bring to the team. He's going to be the linchpin in terms of the creativity, especially against the low blocks. And then we've got all the other attacking players that are going to, capitalize on his efforts. So up until that Leeds game that you talked about, Matisse, and we blew.
Great game, by the way. We outrun them. Yeah,
we outrun
Bamford with Reece James.
We absolutely blew them apart. I still remember Timo Werner had a shocking centimeter, literally a centimeter away from the goal, and he smashed it over the bar. I don't know what he was thinking, but then he redeemed himself by getting an assist, I believe, later on for Pulisic. And yeah, we were very, very up. And I remember straight after that, and I look back now because hindsight is sometimes a bit of a bitch, but at the same time you can look back and laugh as well. I remember Athletic came up with an article saying we outrun Leeds. How much of an effect is this really going to have on the team? Yeah. And boy, oh boy, did it have an effect.
We got ruined.
We won't get to that yet. But I mean, Younes, right? Ziyech had an absolute masterclass against Sheffield United. Reece James had bodied Bamford against Leeds. And the game that really set me off, and I was starting to look at Saj and be like, yo, I think we're here to stay. We beat Newcastle at St. James's Park. Now, if you're not a Chelsea fan, that will seem like not really big news. Newcastle at St. James's Park, you expect to win. Why is someone asking where Big Steve is? Does this look like the Big Steve show today? This is all you can eat Chelsea. He's a Man City fan. What the hell's going on? Are you new? And this super chat, well, I may as well answer this super chat as well. Oi, what happened to the Battle of the North show is coming back. It's not coming back. I subbed it out for the Oil Boys. So I felt like in terms of a package, I just felt like the Oil Boys was easier to run and I felt like you guys would enjoy it more. And I think with the way that the season panned out, it wasn't the worst idea putting Chelsea and Man City fans together and going head to head. So yeah, I'm probably going to stick with that. But but yeah, we beat Newcastle at St. James's Park. I mean, Younes, how was you feeling? Did you do a video saying we're going to win the league?
Yeah. yeah, I did, man, and I remember it. And I funny you mentioned George. I spoke with him at the time, and we were gassed. We were like, yeah, we've got the perfect balance now. It looks like we've sorted out that defensive crisis, but we're gonna score goals. We're gonna win the league. Lamps has got it. We're gonna win the league. And yeah, man, when we outran Leeds and we got that job done, we all thought, yeah. This is the intensity we need, but it came at a price. It came at a price. Yeah.
Do you know what it is, right? Because I remember this time so well, yeah. And it's Lampard, isn't it? So you just get that extra buzz, and you're just like,
yeah,
we're like, he's got everything so spot on. Everything's going so well. The team's really well machined. We're keeping clean sheets. We're scoring goals. Oh, Younes, I'll bring you into this part first because this is when it all goes tits up, baby. Oh, Lord. Here we go. So this is where the Christmas period starts, the mid-December. So we drew against Krasnodar in our last game, and I didn't really read into that too much. We'd rested players. Billy Gilmore started, I believe. I was annoyed that we didn't win, but it wasn't really important. We topped the group and we kind of just let it go. You know, it wasn't a great result, but it wasn't really important. And then this run, and I'm going to go through the results and then we're definitely going to, I feel like, stop at one particular result. But this is where everything came crashing down for Frank Lampard because we had the Christmas period, games coming thick and fast, as it always does. And it's time to rotate your team and it's time to have solutions to problems that may arise. And also it's when the trickier fixtures came up. And a lot of the fan base that were pessimistic about Lampard's run when it was going good, they said, hold your horses, people. You've got big fixtures coming up. Let's see if Frank Lampard can handle this set of fixtures. Let's see if this team can handle this set of fixtures because we just beat Sheffield United and Burnley and Newcastle and Krasnodar. And that sounds lovely. But you haven't played Wolves, Everton, Arsenal. And I was like, all right, I mean, you guys are being a bit pessimistic, but come on. We've beaten big teams last year. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Sorry, that wasn't even the first one. I've skipped ahead. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. That was that was the first game.
Yeah.
That was the first game. Then Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. This is where I started to think to myself, listen, 2 defeats and a bounce now. Let's not have that happen again, okay? Because that's as much as a blip as you're allowed to have in the Chelsea fan base. Then we beat West Ham 3-0. But if you guys remember that game, we didn't even play that well. It wasn't a 3-0 win, really.
No. They played much better than us.
We took a while.
They played much better.
Somehow.
Yeah. I think what happened in that game is that we was 1-0 up for quite a bit. Someone just said, might just skip this part of the show. You can't skip this part. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. And you know what it is? I mean, I want to ask as well how you guys reacted to that West Brom game. But I remember on this channel, after the West Brom game, I titled my video Sad Boy Hours. It's still up if you guys want to go back and see it after the show. It was called Sad Boy Hours. I was so angry after the Wolves game. I stormed out and went to get drink in the corner shop.
Oh, yeah,
you did. I remember
that. Oh, my God. And you had like jokes with the boss man over there that was like talking about how you're going to get drunk.
I was so
funny.
angry.
Oh, my God.
Because now, I'm just like, I couldn't believe that we had lost. And I don't think Wolves as well, they haven't had a great season this season. So it wasn't the Wolves of old that were like fighting for European places and whatnot. No. I think Jimenez was injured by this point. I can't quite remember, but the Wolves game really pissed me off. But I tried to let it go. Then we beat West Ham. Wasn't a great performance, but we moved on. Now, Younes, talk to me about this Arsenal 3-1 defeat at the Emirates. What the hell was that, bro? Disgusting.
You know what's mental? So just as we done that madness against Leeds and then we drew against Krasnodar, I done a video predicting the 6 next games, because we were thinking, we got this, it's all right, So the next 6 games, which were Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Arsenal, Villa, and Man City. And I remember I brought George on. And I was like, we're going to predict this together, because we're going to win the league. So let's see how many points we can get from 6 games. And we came to the conclusion that we would get 14 out of 18 points.
Wow.
Wins, wins, we might draw against Arsenal. I think we put a win against Arsenal. We might draw against City. And, apart from that, lush, we're going to be winning in all sorts.
Someone said it was poison.
Mate, that went so far left. I mean, Beyonce would probably have to come on to the video and say to the left, because that's how far left it went. You know what I mean? It went so pots. It went mad. The Arsenal game, though, we lost to Everton, we lost to Wolves, and I was thinking, okay, I hope this is a blip. I hope we're going to bounce back against Arsenal because we beat Arsenal. This is what we do. This is how the world works. Chelsea beat Arsenal. That's just how it is. When we lost to Arsenal, I didn't have words. That one hurt. That was the one where I was like, okay, we're in trouble. It was
Arsenal's first win, Younes, after 2 months.
Yeah.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about.
You were 15th. We gave them life.
Arsenal,
we showed up like Bob the Builder, ready to fix them, and we fixed them.
We fixed them because Arsenal went on a little run after that. They had some favourable fixtures as well. I think Newcastle was involved in that too. Arsenal, I remember
the job
at this
doesn't come
point,
with a guarantee. Yeah,
bro, we were bantering Arsenal at this point. Yeah, we had a couple rough games, but we beat West Ham. We were bantering Arsenal. Arsenal were 15th, 16th. Troops were saying, we might get relegated, people. And the media were having fun with it, and Arsenal were in absolute turmoil. And here come Chelsea with Charity FC, just giving out luxuries. You need something? No problem. You need a goal, Saka? Here you go, brother. No problem. You need a goal, Lacazette? Twerky bum bum? Yeah, there you go. It was incredible. I've never seen charity like it. This team absolutely folded under the pressure and said, everybody can have it today. Everybody can have some. It was crazy. It was the worst performance of this season so far. Up until this point, worst performance. I've never been so angry with this team. I couldn't believe it. The mentality, everything. I mean, if I look at how the starting 11 looked in that game, just to see. I think this was
It was a strong 11. It was a strong 11, man.
It was, yeah.
I'm getting flashbacks. I'm getting flashbacks now.
We're getting
Timo
angry
Werner
again.
was
I'm
left
getting
wing.
angry
again.
Oh, this is the time where I said Timo Werner at left wing, stop this shit now, Lampard.
Yeah.
I'm losing it. And he did hook him. But I was getting seriously vexed now, because we'd seen Timo Werner on the left wing for so long over wingers. And I was just like, brother, he's not a winger. Stop this madness, please. I couldn't believe it, man. Tammy scored that game. Pulisic was on the right. Oh, I'm getting angry. Just look at that. Pulisic was on the right. And Timo Werner was on the left. Do you remember the whole fan base was like, why is our best left winger? Why is our best left winger on the right? And we got Timo Werner on the left. Why not just switch them? Because the Newcastle game, if you remember, Timo Werner got an assist from the right. He was on the right and he passed it across. And then Lampard kept putting him on the left and had Pulisic, our best winger, on the right. It was it was so frustrating. Kante was playing lone DM, which I wasn't a big fan of either. He also got hooked. Kova got hooked. We still went with the back four was pretty steady. Mendy, Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Zuma together. Rudiger was not in the team at this point. Kepa was not in the team at this point. James as well started at right back. Aspie wasn't in too much. So we was quite consistent back there. But the whole shape and balance of this team with Kante dropping into that lone DM role, picking up the ball in possession, which no other progressive manager ever allowed him to do. They always played him in a 2. I was fuming with that. I remember going back and forth with so many YouTubers saying, I hate Kante playing in this role. I need him in a 2 or in a 3 because I don't want him picking up the ball off the centre-backs when we're trying to build up. I remember we had Zuma and Silva. It was crazy, man. Mount actually was having a good season up until this point. In the 8 role, he had refined his game quite a bit. He was looking really good in the 8 role, creating opportunities. But Werner left wing, Pulisic right wing, that was my big issue. So we move on from that game, and then he sent me into tears just looking at this scoreline. Let me move on.
But even so, it didn't get any better.
It didn't get any better. Great storytellers, aren't we?
This was the time where we started to look and go, you know what? Maybe there's trouble coming. Maybe we're in a bit of trouble now. Maybe Lampard is struggling here. But it got worse.
But we got violated after this. We literally got violated.
I still had patience. Because I said, listen, it's only been a couple games under Lampard. He's had a good start to the season. Let's give him some time. So Aston Villa 1-1 at home on Boxing Day. We took the lead through Giroud, and then El Ghazi scored. We didn't win that game. So that's when things started to get rough now. Because listen, that's one win now in the last 5 games. Starting to get a little bit iffy here for Chelsea.
And Younes and Benson's prediction was on the dot.
Slapped across the face when we got absolutely destroyed. Listen, we were 3-0 down to Man City inside 35 minutes, people.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember that.
I honestly, I remember doing the review of that game. I still remember very clearly, and I said it in my review, we don't deserve to be in the same pitch as Man City, because that was embarrassing. Like that was like grown men coming in to play football with some kids, and really these kids should be playing somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? In the playground.
Yeah.
And I felt violated. I really felt abused in that game. I felt like these guys did something wrong with me. I was holding on to my body everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I was not feeling happy at all. So man. Now that game, honestly, obviously we'll hear what you guys have to say, but from that point, I was like, nah, man, I think Lampard needed to go. And then we saw literally 90 seconds or 60 seconds after the full time, Athletic had a full thesis out. So
the Lampard in, Lampard out war started on this game. It was trickling after Arsenal, but it started here.
But it kicked off here.
It kicked off here.
And the Athletic knew that. The Athletic knew that, and they were ready to pounce as soon as the final whistle released the article. Like, straight away.
Release the animals.
Mongolia, Mr. Burns. Release the hounds.
And everyone's looking at that and going, Nah, that's too quick. There is no way they've done that within 2 minutes of full
Younes,
time.
it was a thesis.
No, it was a proper full-on. And then Simon Johnson afterwards admitted that, they had that ready just in case if the result went bad. If it wasn't, they weren't going to release it. But it went bad, so they released it. Because that's the truth of how things were going on at Chelsea. And it laid out everything. Another thing is that I started watch-alongs at that point. And everything just went wrong. At that point, I started getting people telling me, "Stop doing watch-alongs. You're ruining our good luck charm here. We're going to pop. Like, stop."
Oh man, it was diabolical at this point, right? That article came out minutes, not even minutes, like you said, probably 30 seconds after full time. Everybody gobbled it up, and this is where the fan base started to get toxic because everyone was saying Lampard in, Lampard out. I personally remained Lampard in because, again, I was always going to give him the maximum amount of time I could personally handle. But I remember doing my live stream after that game and my whole chat was probably 75% Lampard out. And I was trying to calm everybody down, saying, listen, let's just take a minute here. It was Man City. But this is also the time where Lampard was starting to frustrate me because Callum Hudson-Odoi was playing well. So the person who got our goal in that game was Callum Hudson-Odoi in the last minute. Yeah. And really throughout January and late December, he was starting to make an impact. And him and Mason Mount during Lampard's hard time were probably the two standout players that were still trying to deliver for him. And the only difference was Callum Hudson-Odoi wasn't starting. So he was starting, Ziyech, Pulisic, whoever you want out wide. But it was Callum Hudson-Odoi who was coming off the bench and delivering the goods for him and making an impact, creating chances out on the right-hand side, and he just was not playing him. A lot of people are on the fence, a lot of people are in, a lot of people are out. Then we move into the next few fixtures, and this is January. So this is where...
So just to paint the picture, this is also where you knew the writing was on the wall. When we lost to City, you knew it was going to happen.
Yes,
now. It was just a matter of time where Lampard's days are numbered. That was the game.
Can I say, because Toby referenced this on the Big Six and he was saying, "Oh, you wasn't Lampard out as early as me." Of course not. You're a Tottenham fan. But the reason why I wasn't Lampard out at this point, and I remember doing a video with Mod and Dami on this channel, and we said the reasons why we're still Lampard in. Now, respectfully, love you guys, but your reasons were absolute trash. You were basically Lampard out. But my reasonings, I had them on here, and you know when you try and sit as a group and you try and deny your feelings, right? So say you're on a night out and someone doesn't want to admit to doing something wrong and you're all sitting there like, no, we got this. Yeah. I said we're going to do a show because we're all Lampard in, supposedly on Twitter. But a lot of the people that were Lampard out and a lot of the people that have been Lampard out for a long time have said, you big accounts are just afraid to say that you're Lampard out because you don't want to lose any clout. So I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a stream of big accounts, so-called, Mod, very big account on Twitter. What the fuck? All right, calm down. No need for that. And Dami and myself. I don't know what happened. Something just fell. Something just fell. I have no idea what it was. Anyway, and we're just going to try and give some logical reasons as to why we're still Lampard in, because I feel like we owe it as to why we should say that we're Lampard in. If we're Lampard in, you need to give reasons, right? You can't just say because of emotional ties. You can't just say because you love him. That's not good enough. We needed logic, and there was loads of streams going on at this point. I remember going on Nini's channel as well, who'll be on here soon potentially as well. I remember speaking to loads of people at a big stream actually with loads of people giving reasons as to why they were still Lampard in, why they're still going to give him time. There were a few good reasons. I had a few reasons as well, which I'll get into, but there was a lot of people who weren't really giving too many reasons, and it was kind of emotional. It was starting to get emotional for people. One of my reasons is because you see, after this Man City game, we had 2 weeks, people, until Fulham away. So we had Morecambe in between that. We had a week off, and we had Morecambe on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then we had another full week, and then we had Fulham. And during this time, a lot of the reason as to why we were saying Lampard was falling short is because he didn't have any time to train the players, to really hammer home his system. All the managers had the same problem, but cool. He's young, inexperienced. He needs that even more than the most experienced. So I said to myself, I'm going to give him these 2 weeks. And then when that Fulham game comes around, let's see the difference. And I remember even Lampard at this point was starting to get quite angry himself because he was starting to blame the players in interviews. starting to give really short answers and get a little bit snippy. So we move on.
He even acknowledged that those 2 weeks were going to be so beneficial for him. And he said that in a press conference, that the 2 weeks are a big deal and they're going to help. You know, and we all heard that and thought, yeah, cool. All right, he's on the same wavelength as us. We're thinking the same thing here. Let's see these 2 weeks. Afterwards, we're going to come out better.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
so then we play Morecambe. So you would think. So we play Morecambe. We play Morecambe. We beat them 4-0. That doesn't mean anything. I move on personally in my head. We play Fulham. Fulham go down to 10 men after whooping our asses in the first half. Robinson, who's the former Wigan player who was fullback at Wigan when Reece James was there, he moved to Fulham. He was having a really good game, but then he got sent off after a tussle, I think, with Aspilicueta. And then even in the second half, when we were down to 10 men, we were performing awfully in that whole game. We just did not click. And that was after the 2 weeks of training. So that's when I was starting to get worried. So we beat them 1-0 after a Mason Mount goal. And I said to myself, this is not good enough. Now we're starting to get to a position now that's becoming untenable, because yes, we won, but it's the manner of the win. It was awful against 10 men Fulham, who were near the bottom of the league, and consequently got relegated actually. So then Leicester comes, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is when I decided that I was respectfully ready to part ways with Lampard. Miz, what was your thoughts after the Leicester game? How was you feeling?
Man, schooled. I still remember the review. I said, wow, where has one club, Leicester, has gone, and where we are meant to be an elite club and where we are going. So it was a shocking reality for all of us. And at that point as well, I've always maintained that I'd never want to be one of those fans that scream out, manager out. I don't like that. I want to give them enough time to rectify the situation, why not? So I didn't come out, I suppose, with massive voice in social media that I want Frank Lampard gone or anything. But deep down, I just had a feeling that it cannot last like this. It's just absolutely not tenable. Do you know what I mean? So that Leicester game, I think everyone knew that this was it. Then we started reading the articles that he's already said goodbyes post that match. It was the manner, because you guys will still remember there was a picture that went viral in social media where we had a pentagon sort of shaped midfield where it was all Leicester players in the middle. They dominated the midfield, and all our players were just in the outskirts.
And we kept going wide all the time.
We cross and inshallah football. Do you remember?
So much
cross and inshallah football. And do you know what? It was horrible to watch some of the caliber of players that we had. And at that point, I could also see the weeks leading up to the Leicester loss that some of the players, I could see, you can tell, you know what, boys? You can tell sometimes when the players have lost interest, right?
Yeah.
And then
100%.
on the contrast, you can tell when the players want to fight their hearts out. Like you look at Rudiger now. Look at him.
He didn't care that game.
It's like his life depends on the match these days under Thomas Tuchel. It's like if he fails, he's going to die. It's like that. Whereas under Lampard, during that time frame, it felt like the players just said, you know what, we can't wait till this manager gets sacked because we've had enough. So, yeah, man, I was devastated. And looking at the table, I think we were 9th. Arsenal, after having such an awful season, were like a point behind us. And they actually on that weekend had the opportunity to go above us. And I think they went above us as well. So, oh, man, it just brings back bad memories, man. Honestly, it brings back bad memories.
If you had said at that time, like, you're gonna finish as FA Cup finalists in the top 4 and Champions League winners, I would have punched you in the face, man. There was no way that was gonna go down. That Leicester game, you just knew, especially what I had in my head at the time was the Man City game. And that article from The Athletic was in the back of my head. And I'm thinking, this is serious. If we lose to Leicester, and at that moment, I was looking at Leicester going, we're going to lose today. And I done the preview and all that. And you can't come on and say, oh, yeah, we're losing today, lads, by the way. I think we're going to lose. That's just not good for content. It's not. Don't do it. You just don't do it. But I was honest. And I was like, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good about this. I mean, hopefully we get a result, but Leicester are strong. Yeah. And they look good, and we're a bit all over the place. And we got dominated. Not in terms of scoreline, in terms of football, in terms of on the pitch. We had nothing. Yeah. You just knew that players had lost interest, as Miz said. Some clearly had issues. Some were baffled. Some were confused. Lampard just didn't know what to do. And at that point, you just knew. And there was already rumours before the game that if we lose this, Lampard's getting the sack.
Yeah.
We've been through this situation too many times under too many managers to not know what's going to happen. Yeah, when that starts happening, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like from the moment that report dropped in the Man City game, the writing was on the wall, and because you would have had to do a serious turnaround to not get sacked from that point. I remember thinking after Leicester, the stream's up. Like I said, people, you want to see it. I'm not lying to you. That was the day I was like, he needs to leave, because I had been on the build up to that. My arguments for him to stay had been getting weaker and weaker. And the only argument I had was the argument I mentioned, which was I just need to give him that time on the training pitch to come up with a solution. Is he going to change formation? What is he going to do to get this group together and get himself to the end of the season? Because we have to make top 4. And he didn't do that after those 2 weeks. The Fulham game was appalling. The Leicester game was appalling. And I said to myself, from the moment that I think that top 4 is at risk, I'll personally want him to leave, because we have to make top 4. And I remember arguing with so many people, because I was on so many weekly shows, rants, Big Six, so many weekly shows. And they were saying to me, like, if you don't make top 4, what then? And I was like, we have to make top 4. The whole point of the project in 3 years, we're meant to be challenging this year. Now I can accept top 4, which is what we ended up getting, finishing 4th, because it's been abnormal season. I'll accept that, but finishing outside the top 4 is not acceptable, and I always maintain that. I said, if we finish outside top 4, he has to get sacked, and if we look like we're finished outside the top 4, he has to go. And after the Leicester game, I just thought to myself, you've run out of ideas. The team are not playing for you either, and you've lost it.
The other thing
also, Matisse, just quickly before Younes jumps in. Do you remember he went after Liam Toomey as well? So he started going after the journalists at that time.
That's when I knew he lost his head. That's when I know he lost his head.
That was the game leading up to Luton, and he just started firing shots after the Leicester loss. You just knew when that was happening, it was pretty much done. But the concern at the time was, like, personally, and I said this at the time, was, to give him that time to learn and to adapt and to try and get something to work, cool. But in a month from that time, we've got to play Atletico, Liverpool, Man United, Atletico again. And I'm just thinking, as you said, we need top 4. Like we can't go into those games playing like this, because we're going to get destroyed. So I had it in my head, like, look, if you're going to bite the bullet, do it now. Yeah. There's no better time. Do it now. Just sack him now.
If anything...
Not, we'll just have to go for till the end of the season.
If anything, I was starting to think that we'd actually missed our chance, because if we had done it after the Man City game, that person would have had 2 weeks. We kind of shagged ourselves there and given him a bit more time. This super chat says Lampard was tactically whack and exposed big time. This is my point. When I can't defend the point anymore, and I've got more cons than pros, that's when you know the situation is out of your control. And I thought to myself, where does Lampard rank in terms of managers in this league, tactically, knowledge-wise? And I couldn't put him in the top 10. And I thought to myself, that's when things are going to get hairy. So, I mean, from that moment, I was saying that whole week after the Leicester game, I think Leicester was a Monday night, very stressful Monday. And then we moved on for the rest of the week. And I was really just saying, listen, this is it. We need to move on. And the board needs to start thinking of other targets. And then I think a report came out that the board were going to give him 3 more games. And I was debating with you guys on this show, and we were saying, have the board made the right decision and whatnot? And we was going through it in our head. At that point, I'd mentally checked out in terms of wanting him to stay, because I said I wanted him to go, and I felt like he couldn't bring it back. And then we go through the fixtures. We beat Luton. He captains Mason Mount. But as I keep saying, these FA Cup games, they don't do anything for you in terms of keeping your job anyway. And then after the Luton game, breaking news, Frank Lampard is sacked after a win.
But that's the thing. That writing was on the wall, because he gave the armband to Mason Mount, and that was blatantly a goodbye. That was a blatantly like, here's a gift from me, but a parting gift before I leave. It was clearly done after the Leicester result, 100%.
Yeah, it was crazy. I test merchant says secret Prem manager said he loved playing Lamps. I can't remember who it was, but I do remember that quote. Think it was kind of disrespectful, but someone did say that. I can't remember exactly who it was. So Lampard sacked. All You Can Eat Chelsea is doing record numbers.
Well, I remember we had about close to 2,500 people. That was
the emergency
insane.
stream. Yeah.
And just before that, I had Younes and PYS and Sadiq in my channel as well.
I think is that the week where we did an All You Can Eat Chelsea like tour, and we went on all of each other's channels. I can't remember.
No, that wasn't that week, but that was that emergency week. But then we did the tour during the good times, the Thomas Tuchel times. We did the tour.
Yeah. Literally. So that happened. Oh, wait a second. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Hello? Is that Thomas Tuchel?
I knew he was going to do something like that.
Thomas, what? You've just been sacked from PSG? Yeah. I know dealing with Neymar and Cavani the season before wasn't easy. You did get to a Champions League final. Oh, they don't respect you. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Tuchel. You weren't on the top of our list. We had Pochettino, but he just took your job. Nagelsmann, we just spoke to him. We don't speak a word. We don't speak a word. I mean, we spoke to Nagelsmann and he said, yeah. No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Thomas. Honestly, Thomas, calm down. I'm just saying Nagelsmann, we wanted him, but he's not available to the summer. Yeah. You're going to take the job. All right. I mean, listen, you weren't on my top choice. You're like, you're kind of a backup dancer in this situation, but we'll give you an 18-month contract. We'll go from there. Is that all right? He's hung up. Oh, hello. Hello.
This is funny.
Younes, why are you ringing me? I just spoke to Thomas.
I told Younes, ring him.
Get off my phone.
It's Frank. It's Frank. Oh, he hung up on me. I want my job back.
And in comes Thomas Tuchel on an 18-month contract when he's not even first choice, and let the games begin because he's not even had time to unpack his toothbrush and he's got a game against Wolves. Honestly. And I'm excited because, I personally, I didn't have a choice. I remember saying on this channel many times, people ask me what manager I want. And I said, personally, guys, I haven't even had time to even think about options. I don't know. I think one of my choices was Pochettino, but he wasn't available. And then after that, I didn't know. I said, just get me someone that is experienced, got pedigree in the game, knows what they're doing, and that is progressive and wants to play good football. And if they can bring through youth as well, that would be great. And people brought up Thomas Tuchel, and I said, I don't know, man, because does Thomas Tuchel not need more time? Is it not better to have someone like that come in the summer? Don't shake him and give him a mid-season, meltdown. Give him a whole window and let's look after him. And I was like, a lot of people said, nice, all right, he can do it. I said, all right, if he can get his philosophy across quick enough, it's not going to be easy. Lord and behold, ladies and gentlemen, he got that philosophy across quite quickly. The hell was that all about? Someone saying Rory didn't want Tuchel. Listen, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? He's apologized now. Big up yourself. Love you.
I mean, hey, he's fully on board with Thomas Tuchel.
He's on board now. He's on board now.
So
he's on board now.
Fair play.
People wanted Nagelsmann. People wanted, Bob. I mean,
Bill, to be honest,
Wendy.
we wanted Nagelsmann, but that only didn't happen because Rangnick didn't want to take an interim job up until the end of the season. Yeah. So because of that, we went to Plan B, which was Thomas Tuchel.
And Tuchel comes in, right? And we draw 0-0 against Wolves. It's fine. You haven't had time to unpack your luggage. It's fine.
Right? He legit came from the airport to Cobham.
Yeah,
straight training.
And I remember that nighttime training session, and it was all. And you know what it was? Yeah, I tried. A lot of Chelsea fans were depressed or they were angry because they weren't ready to let go of Lampard and connect with a new manager, and it was a tough time, a couple weeks for everyone. I was personally quite excited because I saw a new manager in charge who had way more experience and pedigree, done a good job at PSG, winning trophies, got to a Champions League final, did well at Dortmund, won a cup, and then boom. We draw against Wolves, we move on. And the quotes, that whole week of media from Tuchel got me gassed. Yeah. Got me gassed. He said all the right things. Every single quote was spot on, talking about winning immediately, talking about we're going to build a team no one wants to play against. And I thought to myself, this is incredible. I'll be having some of this. Lovely jubbly. Get me off to the pub. I'll talk to all the man them. Listen, I'll get all of them guys, all them older guys, because my dad was fuming. My dad was absolutely fuming. He's like, I want Lampard to stay. I don't care if we finish 10th. I want Lampard. And I was like, calm down. Tommy Tuchel's in here. Let's give him some love. And I remember guys, there was a banner outside Britannia. Was it Britannia Gate? It was like,
not even Britannia Gate. No, it was the gate in the middle that no one goes through.
Yeah,
you know,
the circus continues, yeah?
Yeah, the circus continues. That was the wow. Does the circus continue now, folks?
Yeah, in a way it does.
In a way it actually does.
We won the Champions League. It's a big circus.
So, I mean, listen, we draw 0-0 to Wolves. We beat Burnley 2-0. Aspilicueta scores an absolute scream off of Thomas Tuchel in his first game. And then here's the game that everybody gets judged on. Because listen, Burnley at home, that's your meat and potatoes. Tottenham away, 1-0 win. Thiago Silva comes off injured. We're playing a back three now for the third game straight. And who comes on? The man, the myth, the legend, the Danish delight, Maldini at his finest. Christensen steps into the arena, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Miz, what was your thought when Christensen came in for Thiago Silva, an injured Thiago Silva? How was you feeling?
I was scared. I was petrified. I honestly thought, this is it. We're done. We're finished. Kane and Son's just going to absolutely eat us up. Christensen, at that point, we had no respect for that player at all. Let's be honest. This is what it was. Thiago Silva was we were feeling gassed during the Thomas Tuchel, thinking that Thiago Silva was going to be the linchpin in the middle of the three at the back. But oh my, what Christensen did from that particular time to then how he went on a mad run. Wow, yeah, exactly. Lewis started the picture. The people in the jail was packing up to a point where there wasn't enough room, where Christensen then started standing right on top of the building and he was looking down on all the people that he's locked up. It was great, but yeah, man. Just quickly going back, Thomas Tuchel. I'm not sure if you guys remember. There was an interview with Rio Ferdinand in BT Sport, which was bloody damn unbelievable.
What an impression!
And Thomas Tuchel, before the Wolves game, obviously he landed and he went straight to Cobham and he was straight away into the training ground, right? But he was actually, they were showing some footage. He was actually writing down the strategy in the plane, his assistant. On the plane, he was writing down who's going to be the starting lineup, what formation he's going to play, who's going to play where. He's already analysed how Wolves play. And I thought, you guys will remember the iconic, all-you-can-eat Chelsea we did when Thomas took that emergency. And I said, Thomas Tuchel will see this team and he's going to have the hardest hard-on ever. Do you know what I mean? He's going to look at this team and he's going to be so happy. And a lot of people in the live chat still remember were laughing, as if he didn't have Neymar and Mbappe. And I said, it's not the same because he now has a team less the egos. Do you know what I mean? He's got a team where he is the main man, whereas in PSG, Tuchel can never be the main man. It was always going to be Mbappe and Neymar. Do you know what I mean? They're the main men, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I was so confident. Obviously, then the Spurs match, and then we went on a bit of a run. We were in an unbeaten run.
Do you know what it was as well? Do you know what it was? Not only did Christensen come on and absolutely take like a duck to water, we had obviously played this formation and Kante wasn't fit here as well. Do you remember? So it was Jorginho and Kova that played the first few games in this run because Kante wasn't fit. Hudson-Odoi had been reinstated into the team. Remember we spoke about that earlier about him not getting too much game time under Frank. He came in at right wing back, was unbelievable. Before we go into the run, Younes, what was you thinking after that Tottenham win? Because that was our first statement, wasn't it? Beating Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, big time. And that was the first big game that Thomas Tuchel had. We knew that we'd beat other teams because we just have a better squad. And now that Lampard's gone, we might actually get a reaction. But we wanted that cemented against Tottenham. That's the first big test. And all of us were thinking, we can beat Tottenham, we'll get the season back on track. If we don't, then it's possibly looking a little bit shady. But we managed to do just that, man. We managed to play really, really well. We saw, obviously, the way that Christensen came into the setup. The back three was now starting to click. We had the reintroduction of Antonio Rudiger and Aspilicueta and Jorginho, as we've already mentioned as well. And it was players that were abandoned. players that weren't, well, not Aspie wasn't abandoned, he just wasn't playing, but the others were abandoned, you know, they were thrown to the side. And all of a sudden, with that team, those players, we beat Spurs, we beat Mourinho. And you're like, whoa, okay, maybe there's something that we didn't quite think about under Lampard, you know, and maybe Thomas Tuchel has something going on here. It was the first big sign of we might have the team back on track now. So it went on from that point onwards. Fantastic.
And just quickly to add as well to what Younes has said, it was at that time where the players started talking a lot as well post-match. I still remember Callum Hudson-Odoi post the Wolves game, the tactical nous that he was showing in that interview, how he said the whole ideology was to be in the right wing back, you know, push their right wing back as well, try and get one-on-one. Like he was talking a lot of tactical stuff. Alonso came out post-match, I believe against Spurs, where he was saying that he had a bit of a slight dig at Lampard. I think he was saying that, you know, finally we've got a gaffer that was actually tactically telling us where we need to be, what positions, which areas we need to be, you know, pressing and whatnot, and not to overlap against each other. So you could see that the team all of a sudden started clicking again. So, you know, it was good times.
100%. And I'm just changing the title because we won't have time for player ratings because the story of this season is too crazy. And I want to give it. I want to give it justice. I want to give it justice. Miz told me this, and I was like, we'll see. But I was like, you know what? This season has been too crazy, and I don't want to rush it for player ratings. So I'll probably do player ratings another time. So then obviously we beat Tottenham, and then we go on a good run. I mean, we beat Sheffield United away from home 2-1. We beat Barnsley. I remember Tammy Abraham got a late goal there in a very turned out to be a very difficult game. Barnsley actually presented our biggest test at that point in terms of difficulty because they were pressing from the front. We had to change formation. Tammy got a late goal. Newcastle 2-0. Southampton 1-1. Disappointing draw. We conceded first that game. For the first time as well under Thomas Tuchel. We've been keeping a lot of clean sheets up until that point. And then comes the big test and the big run that Younes spoken about before when we spoke about Lampard and how much time we're going to give him. Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds, and then Atletico Madrid again. I mean, let's start with that Atletico Madrid game. We won 1-0 in by the way, a fixture that was deemed the most difficult draw that we could have possibly got, but we beat them 1-0. Do you remember that game? Away from home, Suarez getting grabbed up. I mean, Younes, how did you feel? It was amazing.
Mate, that was unreal. We all went into that game thinking in the same mindset like we did when we was under Lampard, thinking we're going to get destroyed. Like tonight might be ugly, was the way that we went into this game on that day. And after that 1-0, Giroud and the overhead kick and all sorts, and we were like, oh my goodness, this is outrageous. How have we beaten La Liga leaders who are currently, like, at the time they were 10 or 11 points ahead of Madrid and Barca? They were smashing it, and we just show up with a team that we thought were dead and beat them 1-0. And we're just like, that's when I said, and that this phrase was born, was if in the second leg we get a result and we go past Atletico, we can begin to dream. It was because of that Giroud goal and that 1-0 win. And I thought if we can get past Atletico, flipping out, we can get past anyone. That's how I saw it at the time.
Yeah, they were top of the league. They were top of the La Liga.
They were flying.
Really good. They had the balance between defense and attack because Suarez was scoring goals, but they were still keeping out Felix. Exactly.
And in that first leg, we nullified them. They done nothing. Nothing. You know,
they sat deep.
We soaked. Exactly, yeah. They sat very, very deep. And tactically, they were all over the place. And we took advantage of that. That goal was unbelievable. Get the 1-0 win, an away goal. We got the advantage. Bring on the quarterfinals.
Remember Alonso kissing the badge after he scored. I don't know which goal. Which goal did he score? It must have been. Oh yes, he scored in a home game. And that was after him and. You know, that he'd been left out by Lampard for so long, but it was a few games before this, I believe. But yeah,
I think it was the badge. Was it Burnley?
I think so. Yeah, it was Burnley. Yeah, I think so.
Scored.
Yeah. People wanted Kante sold at this point. I mean, Miz, what did you make of Giroud's goal that night? That was a big boy goal, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Oh, man, that was phenomenal. I didn't know because they were checking. The VAR was checking for offside or was it something like that?
I think.
handball.
No, offside.
Might have been offside, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, offside. But then they saw that it came off Hermoso, so then it wasn't offside. So, but when he finished that, I was like, wow, we completely deserved it. We outplayed Atletico. Although I'm pretty sure it was a neutral ground, right? It wasn't at their home ground. It was a
neutral.
It was a neutral.
It was at Sevilla.
It was at Sevilla.
Yes,
exactly.
it was.
It was a neutral ground.
Yes.
It was a neutral ground.
Was it?
No, wait, no, it wasn't. That was Porto. That was in Sevilla.
Porto at Sevilla.
Yeah, I think we actually went
to Spain.
Let me find out. Let me see. Did we? National Arena.
Oh, that's in Romania. I think that's in Bucharest. I think.
Yeah, Bucharest. We went to Bucharest.
Oh God, I don't even remember. I don't even remember going to Bucharest.
Yeah, I remember because we didn't go to Spain. We didn't go to Spain.
Okay.
It was. We played them out of the park, and the way we pressed. That was the game where I saw us press and counter press. Like we pressed when they had the ball, and then we counter press as soon as we lost the ball. So that was amazing to see. And I remember that stream. I think that's from that point. I just want to quickly share a personal sort of story, which is my YouTube started to take off as well. And that was the start of when started getting a lot of views in the reviews. People started flocking in, and many people started saying that we could probably dream, just like Younes said, we could probably dream for the Champions League title.
Really? They said it that early?
Yeah. That's when a lot of people started saying that. Well, I've seen enough. Bring on whoever you got. You know what I mean? So I didn't think it at that time. I was just happy to continue on and progressing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I was so happy with Giroud's goal at that time. But I also knew that it wasn't sustainable that we can continue playing Giroud. So I wasn't surprised later on to see not enough of Giroud. Do you know what I mean? But that led to, and as we're going to go into an amazing run of games. We kept clean sheets against some of the biggest clubs. Man United got lucky. Stark contrast.
The Man United game, I was so frustrated that we didn't win that because Man United was shocking. I developed a hatred for Man United at this point because they were second in the league, but I felt like as if they weren't playing that well. They were just getting results. And I was like, we can take it to them here. And we still didn't beat them. We couldn't get the goal. And this is where it was very clear that this team defensively, he had them set up, build up play wise. He had them set up in terms of the way that they set up as a system. It was down to a T. But the finishing in this team was already starting to become quite clear as an issue. Now I thought this issue would be rectified. Lo and behold, I was wrong. Now when it came to Man United, obviously we drew that. But I want to move on to that Liverpool game because this is where I started to be like, okay, cool. Mason Mount, you might be in shout for a player of the year here because Thiago Silva had been injured for a while here. Mason Mount was playing in that left channel. Timo Werner was ruled offside as well by like a hair follicle as well, which was really annoying. But Mason Mount got the winner. He cut inside on Trent on that left-hand side, cut in and whipped it into the corner. And that's when I thought to myself, Mason might be in for a team of the year. But the whole team, this game was unbelievable, this team. They were incredible. I know Liverpool weren't going through the greatest patch at this point, but even still to go to Anfield is a big result. You had, who was playing here? You had Christensen, Azpilicueta, Mendy, Rudiger, Chilwell, Jorginho, Kante, James, Ziyech, Mount and Werner. What a performance, man. It was incredible.
Just quickly to add on to that, there's been so many times, and you boys would remember, how many times back in the days when Coutinho used to play for Liverpool, the way he would cut in from that area and then zip in a shot and Courtois would have no chance and it would be a goal, right? It was so good to see Mason put one like that, literally going head on and then dragging Fabinho. I remember, I think it was Fabinho, and then cutting in and just, it will go down as one of the iconic goals. For me, I tweeted a while back saying that was I know we've had a lot of important goals after that, but that was a very important goal for the whole Premier League sort of, race for the top four. So we will never forget that goal from Mason, man. That was incredible.
That was a big turning point. It was a big turning point. That was the one where we'd beaten Spurs, but we was like, okay, Anfield, despite their poor form, if we get a result here, it's huge. Considering that they were beating us left, right, and centre anytime we played them, and we didn't really have a chance. getting that goal, Mason Mount, and just holding on and clawing that result, that was massive. And that was when we began to all think, okay, you know, top 4 might be back on here. I mean, yeah, we were 9th, but maybe we can get back. Maybe we can claw ourselves back up the table. That was the turning point for me.
Kante assist, really good pass.
Yeah.
And anybody do the I'm going to do the celebration. I need you guys to react to Mason. Who do you guys remember what Chilwell did? Come on. There we go, Miz. You didn't let me down. I was waiting. I would have done that all stream. I'm telling you, people.
Did he do that? Did he do that in the Liverpool game?
Yeah, it was Mason. It was. Do you know why I remember it? Because the edit was unbelievable. After there's like this blue fireball
this was at the
coming
Liverpool
out of
game,
Mason's hand.
I think that was
he did like 3 celebrations.
They were both
he
at
did
the same game.
Yeah, so he did the Chunks one. He done the Chunks one that Chunks told him to do, and he did that, which created that edit of the fireball coming out, and then Chilwell going like that. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, he damn right I'm acting out the goal, bro. I wouldn't if they didn't react, I would have just been like this for the rest of the stream. Yeah, he did like 3 celebrations. He did a knee slide, then he did that, and then he did that. I swear, I don't think he could decide what celebration he wanted to do, so he just did all of them.
I do all of them.
Yeah, it was Hadouken. That's it. Yeah, that's the celebration, people. So the only reason why that stands out is because the edit was unreal, man. It was so good. It was so good. So good. And then we move on to which game? I mean, listen, the run was really good at this point. You've got yourself 2-0 win against Everton, 0-0 against Leeds. Again, very frustrating that we didn't beat Leeds. This was a team that, yes, I like Leeds, but they did give up a lot of chances. They started to get...
Mendy was big in that match. They had chances too. I remember Mendy kept us in the game.
Yeah. The thing is with Leeds is that they create a lot of chances at this point, but they also concede a lot of chances as well because they're so open. Then towards the end of the season, they started to calm down a little bit and find that balance. But at the start of the season, Leeds were leaking chances like no tomorrow, and they were creating chances like no tomorrow. They were just the most entertaining team to watch. Then we play at Atletico Madrid. We beat them 2-0 in the return leg. Absolutely dominated that game. And Atletico Madrid went down to 10 men as well. A 2-0 win against Sheffield
Shout out
United.
to my boy Hakim Ziyech at that game.
Yes, actually, yes, good point. Ziyech scored.
And Emerson. Big up Emerson coming on 60 seconds later, scores.
First touch, Younes. First touch.
That was huge. Like we beat Atletico, and that is when we thought, okay, we might actually do something this season. We might actually be back on track now. Yeah. That was a massive result. I couldn't believe when we knocked Atletico out like that.
So comfortably as well. No goals conceded. That was the time where I was joking that we should put all our left backs up front in the front 3. Then we beat Sheffield United. But here's the result that I want to talk about in detail. Chelsea 2, West Brom 5. That fuckery. Sorry for swearing, people. That was ridiculous.
That was after the international break as well, right? I remember we were all worried. The international break.
Sickening. And you know why it was sickening? Because West Brom played such good football. The goals they scored were beautiful. If it was a neutral, I would have loved it.
Yeah. And the fact that they managed to get so much so earlier on, we were just shocked. I wasn't even angry. I was just like, what's going on? This is West Brom, not Real Madrid. Like, what's going on? It's West Brom.
But they played really... Oh, wow. That looks unbelievable.
He showed up.
This is a proper all-you-can-eat right now. Saj is just out here bringing food. I'm like, Saj, where did this food come from? He saw the all-you-can-eat Chelsea show taking place and was like, let me just start bringing food. I didn't even put a pizza in there. But yeah, the 5-2 was embarrassing, man.
That game was stupid. But credit to West Brom because, as you said, the football they were playing that they was shocking. Unbelievable. And if they'd done that consistently, they wouldn't have got relegated.
Do you know what? That was the game where everybody lost it with Jorginho. So Jorginho had a really good run. He'd been playing quite well, but everything was forgotten there because he'd got Thiago Silva sent off kind of because he let's be real, he had an absolutely tragic display, awful display. He was very much complacent, looking like he was, like it was going to be an easy win. Mindset wasn't right, giving the ball away. Ended up getting Thiago Silva sent off. He had a shocking game against both West Broms because he got sent off in both times, I believe. Or no, maybe he made a mistake the first time, then got sent off the second time. I don't know if he got sent off in the first game. I don't think so. But yeah, 5-2 defeat. And this is really just a flash in the pan at this point. We're not really taking too much from this game. We're just giving it an abnormal. We never really concede goals. We conceded more goals in this game than we had in the whole time under Thomas Tuchel so far. In the lead up to this, I remember everybody loved tweeting that one. That got a hell of a lot of likes and retweets from the rival fans. But yeah, we moved very swiftly on from that hectic game where Piero really made his name at West Brom and had a great performance, scored some great goals. We went on to beat Porto 2-0 away from home. And again, Mason Mount, really good goal, man. Unbelievable goal, really. Great turn, nestled into the far corner. And because it was 2-0, you don't want to say the tie's done, but you feel like you're basically in the semi-finals after a result like that. Yeah. I mean, Younes, Miz, was people really dreaming then? I mean, people were really beginning to dream, weren't they? Crazy. The performance was nuts.
Fully. And at that point, 2 away goals, especially. I personally, despite saying, we can begin to dream and all that, I just thought, we can get to Istanbul. At this rate, we are going to go to the final. If we just keep this going, we are going to be in the final. And then the final is the final. Whatever happens, what happens, But that was big confirmation that I was just thinking, we're in the semis. And in the semis, that's it. We've got 2 games away from the final. So it's right now, it's looking like it's going to happen. But prior to that, let's wheel it back a little bit. We had the draw. You remember the draw for the quarterfinals and the semifinals?
Yeah.
And that was when. And
by the way, shout out to Younes. That draw was amazing. I watched your draw, bro.
Draw.
The man did his own draw.
Yeah,
I did.
I think I did one on my channel as well with a few people. Yeah. We did. We all watched that draw because shout out to Chill as well. Big goal, massive goal to get that second one.
Absolutely. I
remember we did draws, because we wanted to see who to get in the semis, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. We all went into that draw thinking we got to get Porto. We've got to get Porto. They're not easy, but they're the easiest. So let's get Porto. Yeah. And then when we knew there was a semi-final draw happening as well, we was like, okay, if we can get either Real Madrid or Liverpool, fantastic, because the others look a little too difficult. Yeah. When it all just happened, I remember saying it like just out of laughter. I didn't mean it, but I was like, we're going to win the Champions League. Like, this is just happening. We're going to win the Champions League. And I didn't mean what I said, but flipping out, it couldn't have gone any better.
We really did get
the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. We won it.
We got the perfect. Honestly, we actually did get the perfect draw. No word of a lie. We got the perfect draw. But that was a big result because from that result, I thought to myself, we don't really need to. We're not discussing Haaland today. Sorry, football videos. We don't really need. We don't really need to do too much at the bridge. I mean, we basically got this game wrapped up in a bundle. 2-0, 2 away goals. And Chilwell's, this is where I started to say, okay, Chilwell, this is it now. Let's hold down this position. And this is probably where his good form really started. He had a rough middle patch, wasn't in the team too much. Alonso was playing quite a lot. Chilwell kind of barged his way into the team. And I was like, Chilwell, please keep this position now. I've been critical of you because, you cost a lot, but also because you've got the experience in this league as well. I need you to hold down this position. I don't want to see Alonso too much on this pitch. And he managed to get it done. He held the position. And then we moved from that Porto game. We beat Man City 1-0 in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Now we're starting to get to crunch time, people, because now we're coming towards the end of the season. And City fans, they were, they tweaked their they tweaked their team a little bit. So did we. Kepa started. Ziyech got the goal set up by Timo Werner. Big goal from Ziyech. But both teams tweaked. Man City were top of the Premier League. They felt like, they kind of had to save for the return leg of the PSG game. But great performances from everyone, really. Really good performance. They still played a very strong team, Man City. Don't let these City fans fool you. They still had, if you want to go through the transfer fees of these players, I can go through it, but I won't. Very expensive team out there and a very good team. This is where they play 2 holding midfielders. And Mason Mount and Ziyech still got underneath them. It was Fernandinho and Rodri in the pivot, with De Bruyne just ahead. So that was round 1 of Man City. So the Excuse FC began from there. In terms of
someone just commented ABC.
Pep.
I love that.
Pep versus Tuchel. 0-0 against Brighton. And that game, I believe, was right after the Super League drama.
Yes.
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 Because it was the
Wow.
day after the City game that I had an interview with Henry Winter, and we was talking about the City game. And then a couple hours later, there was Premier League games taking place, and Gary Neville went on this massive rant, and the Super League was in action. And suddenly no one was talking about our game anymore. And that rattled everybody for 24 hours. I think we even spoke on this show maybe that night. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think we did.
You
we
streamed
did.
for like 4 hours,
did.
Matisse.
Oh
you
my
streamed
God.
for like 4 hours.
Yeah, it was my
Well,
longest
we
stream
had-
ever.
We had like 4 days of hell. 4 days
Yeah,
of
but that was the
madness.
first night. That night there.
That was the first
the
night.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember Matisse didn't stream for like 2-3 days after that. Like he just went MIA. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, that unification of fans that we saw, everyone put their differences aside. Everyone was like, yo, I don't care what team you support. We're coming together for this one because this is ridiculous. They're hijacking the game.
Yeah.
That was unreal. 4 days of just, and then the protests at the bridge, you know, that really, really set it off to another level. Petr Cech coming out to the fans. Him even getting booed away because he didn't really clarify an answer. Next thing you know, on the phone, bish, bash, bosh, Super League's done.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Chelsea have withdrawn.
It unsettled the players as well, man. I
did.
remember that Brighton game.
Completely. That game, no one was concentrating.
Yeah, we were so not in it, and Brighton wanted to capitalize big time. They wanted to capitalize massively, and you know, yeah, we didn't need that. We really didn't need that sort of situation at that point, because had it not been because of that, we just beat City. I'm pretty sure we would have beaten Brighton. Do you know what I mean? So we just didn't need that at that point. And Thomas Tuchel, I felt sorry for him in the press conference. It was like he was just thrown to the dogs. Do you know what I mean? Like, go and just report to all of these people. And he was like, I don't know what to tell you. And he kept on saying, I'll just do whatever the club does. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, club ended up doing the right thing, which was fantastic, and we got over that very quick. So yeah,
the Brighton performance was awful. The West Ham game, we beat them 1-0. They went down to 10 men as well, so that was a good result to bounce back. Real Madrid now, semi-finals, first leg. Guys, I remember this game like it was yesterday. We should have absolutely battered them in that first half.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They got away with murder that day, and then they equalized through Karim Benzema after the Pulisic goal. But we could have been 2 or 3-0 up. And I remember coming after that stream, and I spoke to you guys the day after, I think, because I think it was on a Wednesday. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to you guys after that in the morning after, and I remember saying to myself, I think we've just blown it.
Yeah.
I really think we've just blown it, because I thought to myself, we didn't take advantage.
Yeah.
We could have had a 2-1 win, which is what Man City got at PSG, and we didn't get it. We didn't have a massive advantage. I said to myself, why are we not winning this game? We were absolutely incredible. Rudiger did a great pass to Pulisic, but then Benzema had a moment as well. We dominated. We didn't get the win. I mean, were you guys? I can't remember. Were you guys panicking after?
I was the only one out of you two. I remember we did that all you can eat, and both of you guys were a bit worried off the back. I mean, you guys were happy, but I was the only one that said, "Nah, I've seen enough. I've seen enough in that first 30 minutes to say that we're going to take them." And I had the swagger moving into the second leg. I was like, I can't wait. And Real Madrid fans were just being a bit disrespectful, especially Toni Kroos. He was moving mad. Do you know what I mean? He was talking a lot of rubbish. And I couldn't wait. I could not wait for the second leg, because I knew our players, if they come out like that the first 30 minutes in the first leg and play that for even 60 minutes, we're going to smoke them. And boy, oh boy, we smoked them, man. Oh my God, the second leg. Yeah, they're lucky that it wasn't 6 or 7-0. Honestly, I mean, Havertz missed a lot of chances as well. You know, there were a few other players that missed a few chances. That was a rude awakening. That was like Chelsea's here, baby. They're here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was so worried, man, because there were so many players coming back to fitness. Remember, Younes, we didn't play against Mendy, Hazard.
Yeah.
There was so many, Sergio Ramos, and I thought to myself, yo, if these players come back for this second leg, we're in. It's going to be a different game, man. How was you feeling?
The thing, I was a bit on the fence. Like, I was a bit worried because of the chances that we didn't take, and that was what was in the back of my head. But at the same time, I knew we had the advantage. We had an away goal. So I took it from the point of view of, look, what's done is done. We've still got an advantage here. We've still got that away goal. the truth of the matter is Real Madrid have to come to the bridge and they have to score. So in that aspect, I was feeling quite confident. But I was also thinking, we really could have buried this. Like this tie should be dead. It's not dead, but it should be dead. So I was a bit on the fence. But when it came close to that game, you could just tell how up for it, not just the players, but all the fans and everyone was just ready for this, especially Real Madrid, especially Courtois back at the bridge. And I know Eden Hazard and all that, everyone was very excited to see, but we just felt like we can finish them. Let's just finish them off, finish them early, kill the game, and let's just end this because we can do it. So going into that game on that day itself, I was quite confident.
Yeah. And then obviously we beat Fulham, return leg, Werner and Mount get the winners. And man, I've never been so pumped in my life for because now we're in the Champions League final and it's just this is starting to feel real now. We're actually in a Champions League final against Manchester City and it's starting to feel very, very real. It was another great performance. Werner got his headed goal from I think a Kai chip onto the crossbar.
Yeah.
I think Mount got his goal from a pullback as well. He slashed in there. Great photo of Sergio Ramos Courtois on the floor with Mount just running off into the scenery. And honestly, that was the first time we played Real Madrid since the 1998 Super Cup, I believe, where we won. And honestly, to win that was just ecstasy.
Might I add, Real Madrid have still not beaten Chelsea ever in European competition.
Damn straight. How much is Mason Mount worth in today's market? I mean, for me, minimum 80 million.
Yeah, minimum 80.
Mason Mount, 80. No price. No price. He doesn't have a price tag.
Goes into, you know that meme where they go into the shop saying, how much is that? Okay, 50p. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying?
He's unsellable. Unsellable. That's even
unsellable. Yeah, and he doesn't want to go anywhere, so there is no price. He's priceless.
Yeah.
And then because even if we accepted the bid, he'd just be like, all right, I'm in training tomorrow morning. I'm not going in a bit.
Well, wasn't it Fabrizio Romano that recently tweeted where he did his podcast and he said that he's one of the undroppables. Like he's not in the market. He will never be in the market. So
yeah. And then round 2 of the City Pep versus Tuchel, 2-1 win. Ziyech again with a massive goal, come from behind this time to win after Sterling. And Ziyech found space on the edge of the box, pulled the trigger into the bottom corner, and then Alonso last minute scenes. Listen, I haven't felt scenes like that for a while supporting Chelsea because those last minute winners in big games, they don't come around often. When you get those, I think the last one I remember was maybe Tammy at the Emirates. I can't remember, but those last minute winners, they in big games, they are priceless, absolutely priceless. And Alonso absolutely shithousery at the end, just got a goal and it was beautiful. And then it was another win. I mean, listen, that was the day City were meant to be celebrating. I remember Big Steve got his scarf. It was all going down to the Etihad, ready to celebrate, do their little dance. That was the day I started the Alonso dance on the channel. I stood up and I did my little Don Robbie moving around in a circular motion. Yeah, I did all of that. That's where that all started and came from. And that was a massive result because that was obviously just top 4. Then we had Arsenal at home. And my God, I don't know how we managed to fumble the bag there, losing 1-0. Smith Rowe with the goal.
Yeah.
Awful week.
That was the innit. Kepa showing up again. One last time.
Kepa, Jorginho, Zuma. They had like a miscommunication. That's where that all started. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe that's just us getting out our issue before the big FA Cup final. Yeah. And no. I mean, this is where we're gonna have to take a little detail into this again. The FA Cup final defeat against Leicester. I didn't speak to you guys for a few days after that because obviously that was on a weekend. Yeah. I mean, Miz, how did you feel after that game, man?
Oh, devastated, man. As you guys know, I had Tony Mount just before the FA Cup, 24 hours before the FA Cup. So I was pumped. All the stories that Tony Mount was saying and all the stuff that he's been speaking to Mason about. And I just thought it was written in the stars. It was going to happen, that we were going to get the FA Cup. Us boys, we were gassed as well that we're going to probably do the double, get the FA Cup, get the Champions League as well. And the whole Dubois thread was shining brightly up in the sky. Everything was falling into place. And then Shattered Dreams FC, Goldust, Shattered Dreams, happened where we didn't get that FA Cup. And it was the manner. You could see that after the Arsenal game that we lost, it left a sour taste. The too much tinkering. Thomas Tuchel came out post-match saying that he did not like the team he selected as well. So, from there, I was a little bit worried. And then the whole debate about whether you have Kepa in the cup final, do you play your best team? Then we started seeing Alonso in the cup final. And it's just, the whole Tielemans long-range shot. I mean, if there was ever a way Kepa was going to get beat, did it have to be a long range? Like, I mean, this man takes so much slander and abuse because of the long range. And it, once again, was a long range. And just the whole match, Mason, I think Kasper Schmeichel pulled out a worldie of a save right in front.
Yeah.
So it did not sit well, man. I think we all did a stream right after the City game and we were all buzzing.
Yeah.
And then we all then got together after all of that and we were all mad. We were like, this is not good. This is not how it's meant to be moving into the Champions League final. And then top 4 was on the line. So, man, I was devastated. I wasn't happy.
Someone just said Kante's got 3 runners-up FA Cup medals. It's true.
Blimey.
Wow.
Not 1 winners. Conte.
No, he would have won.
No, I don't think so.
Didn't we win under Conte? Didn't we win under Conte, the FA Cup?
We did.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did.
We did.
So where's the other runner-up coming from? Lampard, this one. Where's the other one?
Lampard.
I don't think there is another runner-up.
Yeah, no, it's just 2.
Maybe it's just 2 then. Someone said 3.
Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, it's just 2. I forgot we did win it under Conte, but that season was so bad. I keep forgetting we actually won a trophy that year. Do you know what it is? I actually always forget that we won that FA Cup in Conte's last season because it was such a shock. It was such terrible, a toxic end to the season.
Toxic.
I forget we actually won. Even then, the mighty Chelsea still won something.
This is what we do. We go through hell and we win trophies.
So someone said 2017 against Arsenal. Okay, there it is then. Arsenal, 2017. I think Aubameyang. I can't even remember. I don't want to go.
So the year after we no.
I think we won. Did we win the league and fumbled the FA Cup?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh,
we could have done the double and we fumbled it. Yeah. But let's not talk about that. But I was absolutely fuming. That's the first time I really gave Tuchel some proper criticism after the FA Cup. I thought the changes that week were all being made too late. Kepa was a debate. I didn't personally have a massive issue with it. I personally wanted Mendy to play, but I could understand how Kepa could play because, he's the cup goalkeeper. I've seen it happen with Zach for Man City. The team was just awful in that second half. They didn't step up to the plate. And it was such a gut-wrenching performance because our final record was looking really shoddy now. And it's another defeat. And I've always said so consistently on this channel, I need these youngsters to get a trophy because I need them to get that winning mentality and winning feeling into them early so they don't become like Tottenham. And then we had another defeat. So I was really on the ropes there. Everybody was obviously bannering us and it was looking sideways. Then we get the revenge. We beat Leicester in the return game. Not the return game, but the following game in the Premier League. Rudiger, Mendy getting into scraps at the end. That was for the Amate disrespect as well. Great game. There was fans back in stadiums. People getting, Dammy getting a shirt, people meeting Bella Silva. Spirits were moving a bit higher, but at the end of the day, that was really just job done, as someone reminded me quite well, because at the end of the day, we had to make top 4. And then we lost against Aston Villa on the last day. And that was disgusting. That was awful. And Tottenham saved us. Yeah, Gareth Bale saved us. And we finished 4th.
Gareth Wales.
Finished 4th. And then, Lord and behold, the final game of the season. We finished 4th via Tottenham winning for us. We've lost the FA Cup final.
Nuts in itself.
Lost the FA Cup final. Survived a Super League threat.
Yeah.
Sacked our manager, our legend.
What a season.
And now, small balls, free size balls in training. Lovely, well-spoken Tommy Tuchel, who I just rang, steps into the chamber of death, because that's what this is, right? If we lose this final, we can say that we weren't favourites and whatever, Man City, are expected to win. But if we lose this final, this season is getting a bit depressing now because we finished 4th. We've lost 2 cup finals. No one's going to be able to celebrate nothing.
Yeah.
And wow, I mean, what a performance! What a performance. And by the way, from start to finish, everything was perfect. The starting 11 from Tuchel was perfect. Moving Reece James back to right wing back from right side centre back, perfect. Exactly what I wanted. I've been a big pusher of Reece James at right side centre back. However, for that final, I wanted him moved and swapped with Aspi, swapped him. The starting Werner and Havertz up front as a front two of Mason just behind, similar to Real Madrid, master stroke. Didn't start Kova, just came back from injury, fantastic. Chilwell, Rudiger, everybody's Silva's back, everything's perfect. And then you run the clip back. We're playing well, creating chances. Werner's had a missed kick. Few things are going down. Silva goes off injured. But I remembered on watch along, Christensen stepped into the chamber of death at Tottenham. We spoke about it already on this show when we were reviewing it. And he did a job. And I said, you know what? Christensen can do a job here. And I was cool. And then a certain Money Mace, who gets criticized often for not getting enough open play assists. And I keep telling people, if we have the worst conversion rate in the league, and Mason Mount's created a lot of big chances and is quite high up for that, then it's quite easy to see where we've gone wrong. But a lot of people didn't want to listen. It was like, we're going to slander him. All right, whatever. As the season went on. But it's fine now. Everybody loves him now. It's good. It's good. Mason with an open play assist and Kai Havertz rounding the goalkeeper, who would have been sent off, by the way, to create history, because it was the only goal, and that goal goes down in history, just like Didier Drogba's header, and just like Didier Drogba's penalty, and all these other things that we continue to speak about. And Pep tinkered, but a lot of people like to focus on Pep too much. Yeah, Pep tinkered a bit, but at the end of the day, we still had to play what they had. A fully fit team, as far as I'm concerned. We're not going to do 3 times with the excuses. We've already gone through the other 2 games. Chelsea win the Champions League 2-time. And Younes is screaming. Miz is screaming, and he's emotional. And it's his birthday, and I'm crying now for him. And I'm hugging Monster, and Saj is out the room, and Big Steve storming down the stairs in the sun, looking for the shade. And life is sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea are Champions League winners. And you know what I love about this? Do you know what I love about this? This story, it's not just Chelsea dominating all season and Chelsea were great and Chelsea were brilliant all season and Chelsea had... No, we had issues. We had a lot of issues. We had times where I thought we may actually finish outside the top 4. There was times where I thought, I can't wait for this season to be over. Just like in 2012 when we finished 6th in the Premier League. Under AVB tried to drag us down into the mud as well by kicking out half of our leadership. But we won the Champions League. And I mean, I've already asked you guys how you felt after that game. And they're spamming 2-time and people have got 2 stars and they've changed their name and it's all beautiful. And now I can't recognize anyone on Twitter because everyone says Champions of Europe.
I can't recognize either. I'm like, who's who?
Yeah. But now we're almost a week on. How do you guys feel? End of the season. We've all told the story here. I've wrapped it up. How do you feel? Anybody can take it.
First of all, before we get into our emotions and whatnot, first of all, Matisse, kudos to you, man. That's a top review and a brilliant story. It's taken us back from how it all started and how we all sort of progressed, the heartaches, the ups and downs, and the glory. Honestly, we've got 850. If you've enjoyed this, and you really have to, because I've enjoyed, I'm pretty sure Younes have enjoyed this review, smash the like button. Don't be stingy on the likes. Seriously, smash the like buttons, because what Matisse has done here is probably one of the best reviews you can ever get from the whole Chelsea season point of view. We've pretty much covered everything. But a week has gone by and, we've been emotional. Honestly, I'm feeling heavy again. I'm honestly feeling heavy again. It's mad, bro. Like, if I keep talking, I'm pretty sure I'm going to break down again. All I'm going to say is that
start crying. It's all right. I got you.
Younes is brilliant.
Honestly, not a day goes by that I don't look back. Every single day, I kid you not, guys. I go back and I go to my watch along. Luckily, I did a watch along on that day, and I check out every little detail, every emotion, and I clip a little detail here and there, and I post it out. And I've been bringing in many different people to my streams as well, and we just reminisce and we just, talk about that particular night and how it's been. And I think it's going to be like this for at least until the next final. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Man, how many times we talk about 2012? How many? Loads of times. We always talk about it.
This is going to be fantastic, and it's so good in the social media as well. Like, everyone's happy. There's not that much war between anyone. It's united people together. It's brilliant. And everyone's content's buzzing. I'm going around checking everyone's content. I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing. And it's fantastic to talk to the fans as well. Like when we bring them in our streams. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. And I said it that, in my review straight after the final, that we may not look at this as great. I mean, we are looking at it. It's very great for us right now. But I'm telling you, years gone by, when you guys grow old, when I grow old, when you guys will have kids, you will one day sit down and you'll sit down with your kids, your grandkids, and you'll reminisce that particular night. Younes be telling his grandchild that, check this watch along. Check what your grandpa was up to.
I'd be like, look, I've got it here. You want to
watch? Exactly. And his grandkids be like, oh, wow, Younes, you were a youngster. You're a good-looking fellow back then. Do you know what I mean? Matisse with his live stream, and he'll be sitting down with his kids and he'll be trying, look, there's stories to be had. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some epic stories that we're going to be saying, and I can't wait for that, man.
100%. I mean, Younes, man, nearly a week gone. This for me was a good way of wrapping up. Not only everyone's going to start moving on to talk about transfers and talk about who we should bring in and bring out, and that's all great. And I'm going to enjoy that because we have to build on from this squad and make it better now to win the Premier League next season. But I thought this would be a good way to wrap it up and really give us one last hurrah. It started with All You Can Eat Chelsea the following morning. It ends with All You Can Eat Chelsea on the Thursday night. How are you feeling now a week on, and how do you look back at the season now after going through it all?
I can't believe it's already been 5 days, nearly 6. Like, I can't believe that time's already gone. Like, that 90 minutes felt like a week itself. That it's insane. But those emotions are still there, still very happy, still just buzzing at the fact that it's happened. Like we won the final. It was a case going into that game, and even for the FA Cup final of, that's why we were gutted about the FA Cup final, because we thought this might be the only trophy we actually win. We go into the Champions League final. There's no guarantee you're going to do it, especially against City. But the way it happened was just magical. And as you said, we talk about 2012, and we mentioned 2012 a lot. We now mention 2021. Like going forward, that's going to be 2021. It's mad because right now it's just happened. It doesn't have a ring to it, but it will. It will. And it's just absolutely unbelievable. But in terms of looking forward, because we have to, dust is settled. Obviously, we can't just stay in this moment as much as we would love to. I would love every night. Yeah, I'd love every night to be Saturday night. I would love if every night was the way we were feeling on Saturday. But we have to look forward. Now, in terms of trying to progress and trying to go to the next level, the aims are there. And as I've already mentioned, it should be a case of trying to go for the title. Trying, obviously, Super Cup, World Cup.
Try to go for the Champions League again, man.
Again, Champions League. Yeah.
Go for it.
Because try and retain. We have to try and retain.
Yeah, we never know. I think Barca and Madrid and Juventus with all that Super League stuff, you never know if they're going to get a couple-year ban from UEFA. I don't know what the situation is on that right now. But those are the ringleaders, and they might get that ban. And if they do, that's 3 major giants that are out and that you can capitalize on. And I think Chelsea and Man City in particular from England will be thinking to themselves, we are at our strongest. Liverpool will come again as well. But this is an opportunity to really go and try and dominate now. Try and dominate. If Real Madrid can win it 3 times in a row, it's not going to be easy. But why can't we go again and try and win it next year? Someone offered me the opportunity, I think last season, they said, would you take a Premier League next season or a Champions League? I'd take a Champions League, personally, because I just think that will never get old, ever. Premier League never gets old. Nothing gets old. But Champions League is just like, for me, it's just like the holy grail. Do you know what I mean? The reaction is different because Premier League, you're leading up to it. And you probably know you're going to win before you lift it. Whereas Champions League, it's just a rush. You can't pay for that rush of emotion. You can't get that anywhere else. There's no other trophy as well. FA Cup, love it. But there's no other, like, The FA Cup, you celebrate, League Cup, Carabao. I love all these trophies. But the Champions
It's a one-day
League,
thing.
yeah, there is no comparison in terms of the rush of emotion in a Champions League win with any other trophy. Not the Premier League, not the FA Cup, not the Carabao Cup. There's no comparison. I know the Premier League shows that you've been the best team throughout the whole season in your country. Of course, there's more games and it's easier to judge the quality, which is why I love the Premier League. But the Champions League, there is no replacement in terms of that feeling. And there will never be a time when we win the Champions League I should be like, all right, cool. It's not going to happen.
And you know what, Matisse? I want to settle the score with Bayern because they got us big last season. And with all the different matches that we talked about this season, how we felt violated in certain games, that one was they
violation.
I felt bad. I felt violated. Once again, abused. I felt abused. You know what I mean? They abused me. And I want to settle that score because I can't have that. No European champion needs that. I can't.
No.
I hope we meet Bayern Munich next season in the Champions League. Message for you guys, Bayern Munich. We're coming for you. I can't wait to see you guys. Seriously, I can't wait.
Yeah, and the Euros is stuck. I mean, football moves so fast. Transfer window. I can already see the Lukaku links and everything. Euros next week, so football moves fast. So this is probably, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're always going to talk about this moment. We're always going to brush upon it, sparingly. But this is the last moment to really, I guess, sink in and really, because I keep saying to you guys, let it sink in and really enjoy it. Enjoy it. Keep enjoying it. It's not even been a week. Don't let anybody make you feel like you can't still tweet about it. Don't make anybody feel like you can't still talk about it, or I don't want to hear none of that. It's not even been a week. Not even a week. Do you know what I mean?
We still tweet about 2012.
Exactly. Football,
Exactly.
Sometimes, football moves so fast that you don't even get the chance to even take in what's happened. Because now you've got the Euros, the England squad's already out. They've played a game already, friendly. The transfer rumors are about to start. Fabrizio is about to go to 2 million followers. Like, there's no time to actually digest things. And I'm definitely going to be digesting it on this channel. We've been digesting it here. So this was, I guess, your stream just to really look at the whole season and just enjoy it. I mean, we can talk. I know you guys love asking about transfers, but we can talk about transfers all summer. But this is your chance to really let it soak in.
Another thing is that, the point you just made, don't let others dictate how, you're going to celebrate or keep the buzz going.
Yeah.
2 reasons. First reason, if you're still in the moment and you're still feeling up to it and you're celebrating and all of that, cool, we won the Champions League. You do you. Don't let an Arsenal or a Tottenham or a United or whoever fan tell you, we've had enough now. You can stop talking about that. Yeah, you won a final. Because if they were in our situation, they'd be doing the exact same thing. Same thing. So don't listen. Do you can stuff it in their faces if you want. Please go ahead and enjoy the moment. Go ahead.
Enjoy
Second reason, we got to take this momentum. When the Euros are done and we find out who wins the Euros and we go into the new season, we're bringing this momentum forward. We're going to bring all these feelings now and apply it for the Super Cup. Hopefully win that, start a new season, and hopefully, as we've said, go and retain. But we got to keep this momentum going because what we have now feels special. You drag that into the new season with 2 stars there, and we're playing in the Premier League.
I need those 2 stars.
We're feeling good.
Those 2 stars,
and the fans are back in the stadium, mate. We got to bring that atmosphere. You got to bring that
new
special
songs.
feeling.
And you know what, Younes? The Super Cup is very quick. I think it's the charity
shield. It's the first
shield.
game of the season.
11th of August.
Yeah, it's very quick. So the boys better be ready because I ain't losing to Villarreal.
No,
you know what I mean?
I'm not a Villarreal victim. No way. I said it on Rance's stream. I said I'm sitting here with 2 yellow submarine, two yellow submarine victims. I'm not gonna be the third. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna have it. But yeah, man, people soak it in because whenever I say Chelsea have won the Champions League, that sentence should never just fall on deaf ears. It should never just go past you and just.
Of course.
No, there's no Chelsea fan that can just be like, oh, okay, we're not Real Madrid. We're not Real Madrid fans. I'm sure Real Madrid fans appreciate it, but we appreciate it because we know it's a graft. It's been a graft. Nearly 10 years, almost 10 years. Yeah. And this is the second one. So only the second one. So really sink it in. I need 2 stars. And I also need that Club World Cup gold badge in the middle. You see this little kitchen cloth kit that we've got? Let's make it look nice by adding some decoration.
Let's modify it.
Disgusting. I'm going to read out some super chats just before we wrap up. Tuchel's system is intensely based, so we need rotational players. Do you see the value in buying squad players who are Premier League proven like McGinn? He does not start the UCL final, but play in Premier League or FA Cup. Respectfully, my brother, we're going to be moving on to transfers very soon. Very, very soon. Personally, I don't want McGinn. No, I think what we need is not rotational players. What we don't need rotational players. What we need is 2 or 3 world-class starters or potential world-class players like Declan Rice or Jadon Sancho. We need players that are going to come and push the boundaries in the starting 11 and put people on the bench.
We want to win the Premier League, Matisse.
Exactly. I don't want I don't want to see any rotational player. That little term that you just had there, scrap it. I don't want to see it. If you want rotational players, guess what? You've got a lovely youth academy there that have already shown that they can step up to the mantle. A Reece James play in the Champions League final. A Mason Mount play in the Champions League final. A Callum Hudson-Odoi play a heavy role at the start of the Tuchel era. A Tammy Abraham finished top scorer. Yeah, last season in the Premier League. I've been going. A Christensen step into Thiago Silva's shoes. You don't need to buy rotational players. It's a waste of money, my bro. So. No, we need stars.
Billy Gilmore as well. So
Billy Gilmore, you know what I mean? Yeah. Tino Livramento, young player of the year, player of the year in the academy, a wing back, very promising player, a player that people will laugh at. Oh, why are you mentioning Livramento? You know, Tariq Lamptey, when he was kicking ball at Brighton for a few games, everybody was saying, "I wish we had him." Well, we have another one coming through, so don't let this one get through your grasp. Yeah. Don't let this one slip through your hands, because otherwise, when he's playing Premier League football somewhere else, you're going to be complaining again. So let's not do that again. It's been great going on this journey with you guys and everyone watching the stream. We have a collective memory to share for a lifetime. Up the Chelsea. This stream represents something that you can come back to if you want to listen to the stories. That's what it's there for. What do you all think?
You know what? It'll be archived. It'll be archived forever. This one, everyone can come back and watch it, because we know how the content in football works. It generally has about 24 hours to 48 hours of lifetime until people goes into the next content. But this right here, Matisse, people can keep coming back. Do you know what I mean? Revisiting, because we pretty much talked about the 2021 season. So
100%. It's basically nearly a 2-hour special, and we never go this long, but it's a season wrap up. And yeah, man, listen, this is for you guys to go back onto. Final super chat just before we wrap up. What do you guys think of the new standing section? Will this help the bridge be more lively? I will never stop celebrating the Champions League. I will flex on Arsenal City fans for the rest of my life. I didn't know there was a new standing section coming in. Did you?
I didn't know that. So there's basically, by the way, shout out to the second bit of that statement. Absolutely. Keep flexing, no problem. In terms of the standing section, so what's happened is that if you go on Twitter, you can see the pictures. The shed end now at the bridge has standing section installed.
Lovely.
So seats have been taken off and it's standing rails, safe standing,
old school.
But what's happened, which I don't understand, because you look at that and you think, yeah, great, okay, great. Someone asked a question. Does that mean we can fit more fans in then? Surely, if we're standing, we can all just cram a little few, cram some more in. Apparently, we're decreasing the amount of people by 500 in that stand.
So it's safe, I guess. Oh.
Look at the super chats coming in, making us continue.
Are you guys just trying to carry on with the stream? You cheeky buggers, huh? Is that what you're doing? Because it's nearly 2 hours. Look at you.
Look at this, man. We're going to go.
Kevin. Kevin, you're out of order, Kevin. Absolutely out of order, you lot. No, seriously. Thank you for the stream this season. Looking forward to the Euro stream now. Listen, we're gonna be going. And this show, I guess, is going to become transfers, and we're going to be speaking about that. But we're not gonna just talk about transfers. I mean, there's loads of things we can talk about with this Chelsea team. And by the way, we're not going to be gone for too long. I want to see how these guys perform for their clubs, for their internationals. We were talking about off air. Miz is going to be paying close attention to Germany. Obviously England, I'll be definitely looking at Mount and all these guys, Reece James, Trent unfortunately just got injured, so that means Reece is probably even more likely to get some game time. So yeah, man, I'm going to be keeping a close eye, and it's going to be good to see our boys performing internationally, see what they do. Rudiger, Werner, Havertz for Germany, etc. Kevin says, I know this, you can eat, but this has made me full. Today has been a buffet. Thank you, brothers, for the season. In review, I nearly cried. Big up, Kevin, man. Big up. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed. This was for you. You know, this was great to reminisce. And yeah, man, honestly, it's been a pleasure to retell the story because it's not a normal
Kevin,
season.
bro. Someone stop Kevin.
Kevin,
stop him. Take that card away from him.
We know who we are. I love that. And you know what? We need to make sure that we add, like Younes said, we need to make sure that that's very clear that it's 2 times. Okay, I don't want to just sing it. I want to sing it like it's. Make sure there's somewhere in that song that it makes it clear we've won it twice.
Soon to be
thrice. Miz,
respect,
what have you got
respect,
coming up? Respect. Yo, Miz, what have you got coming up, bro, in the next couple of days on your channel? Let the people know. And obviously, again, it's been a great season. Thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to the summer, bro.
Yeah, man. I've got the rates. So I did a review earlier today, but not as comprehensive. Well, Matisse wrote a story here. Do you know what I mean? I knew it was going to be a 2-hour thing, so I couldn't afford to do that on my channel. But I'm glad Matisse has done this because I'm just going to tell people, forget about my review. Just keep. Someone stop Kevin. Seriously. Literally stop Kevin.
Have a great day at work, Miz, from Kevin. Love that.
Thank you so much, my man. Honestly, you're a pleasure to have
I love Kevin.
In the
Kevin's
live
a
chat.
great guy, man. Much love.
But yeah, I will be having the ratings either tomorrow or on Saturday. Most likely tomorrow afternoon UK time. The player ratings are going to be interesting. I'll have the drawing board laid out and who's going to get what sort of ratings. It's going to be very interesting. And yeah, I'm literally, I think, 40 subscribers away from 5K. So it's been a
get it done.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
No.
So it's been a mammoth growth. I can't complain, man. I couldn't imagine before the start of this season to be at this level. So fantastic. So thank you, everyone. All the support and the support that this channel gets as well.
The link is in the chat to Miz's channel. Go and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Please put him on 5K tonight. Please, people. Please, I'm begging you. Just do it for us. Do it for the show. Because like I said, this show doesn't run without us. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't run without Miz. It doesn't run without Younes. That's why I want to make sure that everyone's here because it's a group thing. It's the gang. I mean, Younes, what have you got coming up, bro? Let the people know. And yeah, man, it's been a great season, man. Pleasure, absolute pleasure.
It's been a fantastic season, man. Perfect end to it. In terms of myself, obviously, the transfer news is key. Not just as focusing on Chelsea. Obviously, the main priority is Chelsea, but other football news that's popping out, and obviously, we're going to be covering the Euros. So I'm going to be quite England orientated whilst England are competing. And reviews for England games will be on the channel. There will be watch-alongs for England and others, but on my Twitch only. So my Twitch, I'm going to be on. I'm going to be making a bit more active. And yeah, football news, Chelsea news. Looking forward to the new season after the Euros are done, and we go again.
Lovely. Miz's link is getting spammed. That's what I like to see. Still 671 of you in here. Get it done. This is the one time the mods can spam the crap out of the place. Get Miz on 5K. Please get it done. 10 new subs already, Miz. That's great, but we're not there yet. I'm going to keep talking until you, man, get it done because I'm just going to round up and I'm hoping that you guys get it done before I finish talking. It's a race against time. Don't let the show end before Miz hits 5K. I'm keeping an eye out. Kevin says, well, now I'm broke. It was worth it though up the Chelsea. Big up, Kevin. And guys, I'm going to explain to you what content I got coming out. And by the time I'm done, I hope I refresh and see 5K. Okay, let's see who wins this race. So my content coming out. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a stream on my own or maybe with Saj, but we're going to be reacting with my Twitter videos. So I'm going to be getting all of my Twitter videos that I've ever done, getting them all up, and I'm going to play them here, and we're going to react to them, which is going to be a lot of fun because I've done some wild stuff. And that's where, you know, we can get to know each other even more, do some personal chats as well, and really just talk football, but also just talk about, you know, the rise and everything that's happened really on this channel. And if you know me from Twitter, then it will be fun to look over those videos because there's been a lot. Yeah. Then on Saturday, I've got Alex and potentially Nini as well. We're going to do a little, not player ratings, but we're going to go through the squad and just be a bit cutthroat in terms of who do we keep, who do we get rid of, where do we improve, what areas are prioritizing, etc., etc. Sunday, Oil Boys is back after the England game at 10 p.m. Monday, the roundabout, and then Tuesday, Peter Jury. One 1:30. Don't miss that, right? Don't miss that. Peter Jury at 1:30. Really looking forward to that. GOAT commentator. I've been perfecting my lyrical speech on Twitter in terms of my tweets to match his awesomeness. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, they'll probably, to be honest, people, they might actually start becoming 2 uploads a day on this channel because I do want to stream and do videos at the same time. But we'll get to that point probably next week. I won't throw it in your face yet. I don't know if you're ready. Are you not ready?
Mate, 100% ready. 100%. Everyone should be ready for that. What I do want to say is actually two things. Firstly, shout out to you, Matisse, for what you did on the Big Six and for what you did with Big Steve on your channel. Because
that was funny, bro.
That was amazing.
The way he rocked up with the suit. Oh,
that was fantastic. The smoke was on a different level. So yeah, well done to you, Mauro. And the second thing, do you guys remember after 2012 that 20-minute documentary YouTube video that Thoreau 17 did? All or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I remember that. No,
he's making another one.
You've definitely watched.
I've probably seen
100%.
it, but maybe I didn't know it was his. Yeah.
He's doing another one this time called All or Nothing One More Time. And that's coming out in the next few days. So yeah, it's gonna be mad. Thoreau 17, make sure you sub to him. Because that's honestly, here's the thing. It's gonna be emotional. Get the tissues ready, and it's gonna be incredible. 100%.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that because I was really disappointed that Chelsea didn't do a documentary this season, Amazon wise. I think it would have been blockbuster.
Why aren't we doing that? I don't know. We need that.
If we had done that this season, can you imagine? It would have been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, incredible. It would have been one of the highest viewed sort of documentary out there, man. I can't believe this. They did Spurs. Like, come on, man.
Against all odds, not All or Nothing. Why am I thinking of Amazon? It's called Against All Odds. Against All Odds, not All or Nothing. All or Nothing is Amazon. But yeah, if that happened at Chelsea, that would have been insane.
Lovely. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, we're gonna wrap up. You almost beat us, but not quite. But you're nearly there. Don't forget to subscribe to Miz. Listen, 4.98. So he's literally under 20 away. I think someone said 18. The link is going to be in the description. So anybody on the playback, get it sorted, get it done, get them over the line. It just means that a lot of you already subscribed, which is lovely to hear. And
it's going to happen. So congrats, Miz.
Exactly. Congrats.
Thank you. Honestly, you guys have been massive help. I can't. There's not enough words, man. That's for another stream. Do you know what I mean?
13 away. I feel like I could drag this out, but nah, you guys didn't do it in time. Get it done. Get it done. All right, people. It's been a long stream, but listen, thank you so much. Bambo, that lovely spam. You're a blessing. People, that's all you can eat, Chelsea. Over and out. And we'll see you next Thursday at the regular time slot. Sorry for the Canadians. This was it. In a bit, people. Peace.